Okay, so to recap what happened last time, so the wonderful misfits were about to sail off on the Rosabella whenever they had to do some last minute arrangements. Had a failed negotiation with a horse, and ended up pawning it off slash selling it to a local stable boy, and gathered the rest of your things and took off on the ship. Y'all traveled for about 4.5 weeks or so. Made it through most of the Illyria Gulf around the top of Jorvik, and started making your way down the Western Ocean. As the days go by, you guys kind of shared some stories about the moon, and drank a lot and had a good time. And Vitra was visited by an old friend in the middle of the night. She was experiencing the breath of what you guys think is some sort of possession upon her. And naturally, she freaked out, so she went and told everybody, let everyone know that what was going on. And while she was telling everybody down in the barracks, other crewmen heard that, made a big fuss about it, went and got the captain to tell him. Bradbury got very upset that he wasn't told about this. Ended up a big argument on the top deck of the ship. But as things calmed back down, all was looking well until you heard the flapping sails of a nearby pirate ship on the attack. So you guys took on the pirates first-handedly, got down there, pretty much wrecked their ship with your cannon shots. A few of the pirates tried to jump over. Y'all made quick work of them. Even our druids, for the first time, turned into sharks, which was really cool. And they feeded like frenzies. And then at the end, you guys were actually able to kill all of the pirate crew except for the captain, who you guys bound his hands and took him into one of the rooms in the barracks to be held captive as you were making arrangements for the rest of the ship, where y'all found the bodies of all the pirates, as well as Stuart, one of the crewmen who you were traveling with, who unfortunately lost his life during the battle, somehow down below deck. And at this point, I believe we ended right around where you guys were. I think Sage was saying a prayer over Stuart's body. You guys, the battle had just ended. The pirate ship is still intact, but from what you can tell, all the pirates have made their way over here and died, except for the captain.
I remember getting about 400 gold, I think it was, from the dead pirates' bodies alone. I want to take that to Captain Tom and just give it to Stuart's family. And then
Tom. He'll acknowledge. Yeah, he's still not really in a state of mind to talk because it had just happened, and he was really close with Stu, so he's just kind of give you that assuring nod of he understands what it's for without having to talk about it.
And then does the pirate ship have a rowboat on it?
You don't know. It's still pitch black. Still nighttime.
Okay. I want to get. I know Zinro brought Stu's body up, I believe.
Yeah, I'm coming up with Stuart's body right now as you guys are having a discussion, and I'm holding him in my arms.
I would like to find a rowboat to put him in and kind of give him a proper burial at sea if I can.
Traditional sailor's goodbye, I suppose.
Yeah. So your ship is equipped with 2 sailboats. It's kind of like shore vessels while you're anchored, and so you do have a spare if you'd like to use the ship or one of the rowboats to send his body out. You'd be able to do that. Would you want to do that now at night, or do you want to wait until the morning?
Zinro, should we do this? I don't do funerals. Should this be a first light thing, or in the presence of the sun? Stu wasn't very religious, so.
Honestly, I didn't know him that well. I know Sage mentioned talking to Stuart on a few occasions. My particular funerals have been at first light, so the father can grab them with his rays, so to speak, in my religious terms. But I would refer over to either Sage or Rain at this point because he did die underneath Luna's moon. It's up to them. I can do either way.
He kind of followed both. He expressed some interest in Luna's light, but he wasn't unfamiliar to Sol. I think it would be appropriate if we were to wait until first light at dawn so that both can be present.
That's fine. So I'll start preparing one of the rowboats to be able to send off, be caught in fire, and give him a proper send off.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm still probably going to be by his body, just, prayers. Like, I mean, obviously I was close to him or had gotten close to him over the last several weeks. So I'm going to say that I'm probably still kind of by the body and kind of preparing that through prayer and whatever plants and herbs I may have brought with me. So
if we're still next to the pirate ship, I'd like to try to salvage some supplies that might be involved, like I guess food, rations, extra cannonballs, whatever's over there.
Why don't you go loot the ship?
Yeah, you'd have to make your way over, so it's still about like 20 feet away. They were able to swing over to you, but it's not like side by side.
So
Creek can fly you over there.
Bump up against you.
yeah, I kind of want to fly over there, make sure that everybody on the other ship, there's no one straggling, because obviously
Yeah.
right now we think there's no one else, but I want to make sure that there's no one else on the ship on the pirate side. So
you can take
can
Rathian.
I carry Rathian over with me?
Do you know what your carry weight is when flying?
A good question.
I can just imagine a Rathian like being real dramatic as he's like flying over there with Creek.
Have my arms outstretched.
Like, no, put me on your back. Do you have a saddle?
Rathian is probably medium, small, I guess, medium.
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah,
build?
and I don't.
Well, he'd be a medium creature.
I'm a medium creature, and I also don't carry a lot, so I'm pretty light.
I should be able to carry him then.
Yeah,
Medium size.
Probably at
yeah,
half
that'd be
speed.
fun. Yeah. Yeah, and since we're not in initiative, speed isn't really an issue. So yeah, you'd be able to get over there.
Okay.
With the Rathian at least. Is anybody else going over to the ship?
I am. I want to go over to the ship.
I'm
Okay.
going to.
What? Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, I was gonna say that I'm gonna say a little prayer for Stuart. Kind of like my hand on Sage's shoulder. And then I'm gonna walk away and go find a quiet spot and meditate.
Okay.
That was the matter.
She's doing over here doing the Macarena. So like put my hand on my shoulder. Okay. Rain, give me make a perception check for me.
Eight. That's terrible.
Okay. So yeah, whenever you kind of put your hand on Sage's shoulder, you do see that a lot of the clothing that Stuart was wearing has been kind of cut up because of the battle, and it's kind of bloodstained. But with that roll, you can't really tell anything else.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's all right. So yeah, you're able to go and pray. The three of you that are going over. So Freyr, how do you plan on getting across? Are you going to take a boat? Are you going to swing across on one of the ropes that they swung on?
I want to swing
How do you plan on
across.
doing that?
I'm going to try to swing across.
All right. So you'll have to climb all the way up, like take one of the ropes and climb up the mainsail
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get the kind of leverage to swing all the way. But yeah, you'd be able to do that. I would just have you make like a standard acrobatics check to see if you're able to make the climb smoothly without falling on your face.
19.
Oh yeah, easy. And go ahead and roll your. No, we haven't taken a long rest yet. Never mind. We'll do that
Okay.
after. Okay, so the three of you who go over, Kree, Freyr, and Arathian, whenever you arrive at the deck of the ship, it's bare on the top deck. You can see where people dropped different items. Like shields and bows and arrows and things like that whenever they were climbing to swing across. But similar to the boat that you guys were traveling on, the Rosabella, it does have a lower deck as well, with a staircase that leads down underneath kind of the main control room.
I'll just head straight down.
I'm gonna have my weapons at both sides, full prepared at any moment.
I am my own
Follow
weapon.
him down.
Okay.
I'll just scream at people.
I am my own weapon. All right, Freyr, are you following them?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Okay. So as you guys get down here, it is still kind of lit from a few creaking lanterns. A lot of this whole area has been blown, and there's shards of wood, shrapnel, and small fires from here or there. It's still kind of smoky. You can smell the gunpowder from the cannons that fired. And in front of you guys, besides just the chaos and destruction, you do see that similar to your boat, there are a few other rooms and bunks where people were sleeping and crew were sleeping. There's a room at the very end. You would guess would be some sort of captain's quarters because it's like at the front of the boat, and then there's a couple of rooms on the side, and then a bunch of just hammocks and things like that swinging.
I imagine I would probably go to the captain's quarters. I wouldn't be really interested in just the regular bunks and stuff.
Okay. The door is locked.
Can I try to like kick it down?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me a strength check or athletics check.
Athletics. That's a +0. 17.
So yeah, you kick into the door, and you can kind of see some of the pieces of wood kind of bend in as you kick it, but it still stands strong.
Are there any like swords laying around down here, or were they all just up top?
From what you can see, the only weapons down here were the cannons, which have all been destroyed.
Okay. I would like to pick up one of the cannonballs that might still be around and hand it to Freyr, and just like, why don't you use that to like beat the handle? Just hit the handle. Like, just go at it.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
Oh God.
So you're going to use
Like a
cannon?
cannonball. Yeah.
Oh, a cannonball. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to reiterate that I
Alright.
am not next to them.
If this was like this was a locked door with like a little handle, would breaking the handle open the door? I mean, it's not like a treasure chest with a lock on the front that we're trying to break off. Shouldn't we like try to like kick the door down? I'm asking.
Whatever you'd like to try to do.
Well, I'm asking Arathian. What does he think?
My go-to is breaking it, but I'm out of spell slots. So.
All right. Well, I'll try his idea, and I'll try to hit the door down with that. Is that another athletics?
Yeah. Yeah. Another athletics check.
Do I have a number still that I can use in case I don't roll well?
Can't remember.
I have a 13. I have a 13. Let's see if I roll better than that. 16.
16. Yeah, so because you're aiming at the door handle, with the cannonball, you're able to break the door handle pretty easily with the weight of the cannonball. So you can see kind of the metal contraption kind of fall off of the door, and it kind of falls to the ground.
That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Does it look like I can break the door down, or am I going to have to like pick the lock?
Good luck to pick anymore.
Well, that was just the handle, wasn't it? It's still locked.
Yeah,
right?
so you broke the handle. The lock is a separate mechanism above it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely break down this door if you were really inclined to do so. It just looks kind
Yeah,
of
I'm
like a
gonna try to kick it
thicker
again.
kind of walnut door. It's not as easily.
It's going to take a
broken
few
as some of the other-
tries.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to kick
While
it. I'm
he's
gonna
while
kick
he's
it
doing
again.
that,
Can I, while they're
Okay.
doing that, check the other? I'm checking each door, making sure no one's in there while they're messing with
Yeah.
this. I just want to survey the area while they're trying to break a door down.
Yeah. So yeah, you open up the other doors, and they're just kind of all the doors in here are all just side rooms. They're closed. No one's inside. They are essentially bunks, but maybe for like first mates. Not anything super nice, but it definitely actually has a mattress in a bed. A storage chest. Just basic room comforts, but nothing really beyond that.
Okay. That's fine. Can I look through, I guess, now that I know that there's no other rooms now, right? The coast is clear through the whole ship outside of the captain's quarters. Have I checked everything by that point?
On this deck? Yeah, on this deck, yes.
Oh, there's more decks?
So there's 2 decks of the ship. You guys landed up on the top,
Okay.
and then y'all went downstairs.
Okay. Oh, you would not check the first one?
Mhm.
Whatever I have not checked, I want to leave them to do whatever they're doing with the captain. I'm checking the whole ship.
Okay.
Let me just check the whole ship.
Okay.
Make sure no one's on the boat.
So so you get up top, and the only really like enclosed room would be the control room, where they have where they kind of have the navigator do his business. And you're able to get up there, and you do find a few different scrolls and maps with different charted courses on it. You do see the actual large wheel to steer, and you do see a small chest kind of in the corner of the room that seems to be held kind of in place so that they can put like different items so it doesn't fly around the room whenever they're running around like rough seas.
I try to open the chest. Please.
Yeah, it opens. It's not locked.
Okay.
Inside you see a couple of bags of coin, about 200 gold pieces of coin, and then a few things like boots and ribbons and a few just miscellaneous items.
All right. I guess I'll take that and then go check on the guys downstairs and see how they're doing.
Yeah. So
Probably
we'll
would've
say
been
that.
easier with the person with the strength roll.
So we'll say that by the time you come back and finish, they've been heaving and breaking into it. And eventually, you guys get the door to budge, and you bend it just enough to where the actual lock itself kind of breaks out of its socket, and you guys are able to bust through the door. So inside is the captain's quarters as expected. It is not incredibly luxurious, as you would expect. It does have the bed, right, just like the other rooms. It does have, cabinets. It does have a kind of a what would you call it? A standing cabinet, like a wardrobe that it seems to be kind of in the corner behind the bed, and then. Again, it's just kind of like a basic cabin, really nothing. There's like a large carpet on the floor. There's like his desk with his chair and quill, where he would, write notes and send, birds to deliver different messages. But besides the bed and the wardrobe, there's really nothing of significance or importance that you can tell in the room.
Can I go rummage through the desk?
Mm-hmm. So there's There's 3 drawers. Which one would you like to check?
The bottom one, the very bottom one, the third one, I guess.
Okay. So as you pull open the drawer, you see a cloth bag. It's the only thing in this particular drawer. It's just this kind of cloth sack with a kind of a small leather string wrapped and tied around the top, keeping it closed. But it's just a small brown leather sack.
I'll just grab that and put that in my pocket.
Okay, when you pick it up, it's a little bit heavier than you thought. It's about a half pound. Actually, be about two pounds. So it's a little bit heavier than you were expecting. It doesn't feel like heavy enough to be like gold pieces, and you don't hear any clinking or anything, but it definitely has some weight to it.
Okay.
Everybody else?
Are there any like maps or any like notes that it seems like they've been making or anything in this area?
Kree would have seen maps up in the control room.
Yeah, I've got those maps and scrolls on me.
But like nothing like he's
Yeah.
like he's made specific notes. There's not like a captain's journal or anything just in this area.
Maybe upon inspecting the maps, you'll see things, but there's nothing that you see really on this. The desk is kind of plain. It just has like a couple of parchment papers and a quill, but nothing that's like half written or anything.
Gotcha. So yeah, that was it for me. I guess I'll just like to look for any special like any supplies that we might need, and then think about how we're gonna move those across.
Yeah, make an investigation check. Rathian, the unvaxxed. Or if anyone else wants to investigate anything else in the room, can also make a check.
I'll do an investigation check.
Is there anything particular that you're looking for, or just things in general?
Just things in general.
I guess I'll just look at the other drawers if we're not going to look at those. I thought Freya was going to do it.
Okay. The drawers on the desk or the drawers on the wardrobe?
Both. At this point.
Okay. What did you roll, Kree?
It's investigation.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16, and then Arathan rolled a 14, and then Freyr? 13. All right, so Kree, you look through the desk, don't see anything else. You get to the wardrobe, and when you open up the wardrobe, you actually see that there seems to be kind of a shimmer to it. Seems to have some sort of, whenever you open it up, it seems to have some sort of, like you actually can notice that some of the dust that was on top of the wardrobe that falls down, whenever the dust hits this open part of the wardrobe, it kind of shimmers for a second, almost like there's some sort of magical presence there.
Okay. So I'm going to call over to Arathian and Freyr and say, magic boys, this isn't my specialty, but it's shimmering.
I'm gonna
Y'all
immediately go
detect something?
touch it. Just gonna go.
Yeah. So whenever you go and touch it, your hand goes, right through it like it's air.
Then I want to go through it.
No fear, he's
How
like a
much of you?
child.
All of me.
Okay, so you want to step into
I
the
don't look at him like
wardrobe?
he's an idiot.
Yeah, I would like to go to Narnia. I'm very excited.
Okay. So whenever you step through the wardrobe, obviously expecting to, go into a maybe 4 foot by 3 foot closet, right? Portable closet. You do step inside, and it opens up to this kind of well lit, kind of an unnatural light above you, lit room that's about 10 feet by 10 feet. And you see that there's this like wall on the side that has some openings that aren't there, and you do see some different things kind of stacked on the wall. You see obviously some basic clothing that you would expect out of any wardrobe, regardless of its mischievous properties. You see things like jackets and cloaks and scarves, and you see a few different hats. You see one hat that's a little bit more separated than the rest. You see some different weapons, some different swords and javelins. And yeah, that's about it. Kind of a plain room, seems unnaturally lit with a few different items in there.
I would
kind of like an extended closet.
I would like the extra hat, the special hat. I will just put it right on. And then I'll just grab all the weapons and start shoving them out where I came from.
I'm just gonna have weapons randomly coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, just like throwing out the back.
Dodging, weaving. Like, shit, bro.
Yeah, are you like actually throwing the weapons, or are you just like handing them out?
I'll like stick my hand out and drop them, and so that they're not
Okay.
like I'm not throwing them, but I'm like
the weapon style.
they're just like coming out
Yeah.
softly. No one's gonna get stabbed and die, but there's a chance.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Okay.
I'll pop a head in, see what you're telling me, or tell me what's going on. So just weapons being given to us.
But I'm a little
Mhm.
concerned with the room still. So once I get all the weapons out and I get my hat on, and I want to see if I can do some more investigating. See if there's any more like spookiness about the room, like anything that like seems off. magically.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna take some of the swords, kind of go to the corner and start kind of messing with them and flipping with them. See
Okay.
what feels
18.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kree, I'll get 1 second, Arathian. So whenever you're looking at all the different swords, you do notice that they're not just all the same, like basic cutlass, like, you know, curved blade. Like some of them are specific. There's definitely some that catch your attention a little more than others, especially as a fighter. There's one that's this dark, it's like a dark metal. It's not quite obsidian, right? It's not like the dragon scale type of black, but it's definitely a darker type metal that's been sharpened to a ridiculously sharp and also jagged blade. That definitely catches your attention. And then on some of the javelins, you notice that most of them look pretty normal. There is one that's that actually kind of does ironically look like that dragon scale obsidian. Other than that, it's the same size and shape, but it does have that shimmering kind of blue current going through it like the dragon scale does.
Cool. So I'm definitely gonna keep those close to my person, kind of stake claims on it.
I mean,
But
Yeah.
Freyr's gonna like notice all those swords and be like, hey, I might want one of those.
yeah, sure, bro.
Mhm.
Af-
Oh, you're right.
Your choice on
Yeah,
these. I've got mine.
All right, I'm gonna take just one of them that looks badass. So I'm gonna have a sword on me then.
Which one, the javelin or the sword? Because most of them look pretty normal, except for like kind of the one cool looking sword and the one cool looking javelin.
So, Kree, did you take the cool looking sword?
Yeah. I gotta keep the sword. You can have the javelin if you want it.
All right.
Okay. And in Arathian, while you're looking in this room and you're kind of doing one of those like, oh, wait. And you remember, you guys still have the captain held hostage. You can ask him whatever you want about the room.
Ooh.
I just want to step in here because I was waiting for this. After getting the boat done, Silex is going to go take out some anger on the captain. And so that's probably what he's been doing after.
Great, you're gonna kill him by the time we get there.
Nope, I'm not. I'm extremely intelligent.
Yeah, he hasn't had any time to heal. He's still at like 1 hit point.
That's fine.
He's still looking
They
bad.
heal him. Then
Yeah, and
I'm with the captain whenever you get.
Freyr, Yeah. This is the last thing. Freyr, make a make a perception check. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna use my. I rolled a 2, so I'm gonna use my 13 that I can use after the roll, and then I'm gonna add 3 to that, so 16 perception.
Okay. Yeah. So you also notice. Well, actually, did you ever look inside the room, or are you still on the outside of the?
I'm still on the outside. I know
cupboard.
There, but I.
Okay. So yeah, you don't know anything about the inside of the wardrobe, but you do notice whenever Arathian's in there, kind of messing around, you notice that shimmer from the dust. You saw that too. You also notice that that there's some other properties about the carpet that's in the room as well.
There's some what properties?
It looks like it has like a shimmer to it as well.
Okay.
So, I would like. Do I know where roughly the captain is on our boat?
Yeah. He's being held in the barracks.
Gotcha. So
he's being held in one of the rooms.
So I want to point in that direction. Is there 3 feet of wood blocking in between us and him?
Yes.
Damn. Okay, never mind.
Yes, there's probably 50 feet of wood. What are you trying to do? Cast message?
Yeah, message. So I didn't have to go across. I'm kind of lazy. I don't know if you've noticed.
I mean,
Can I mention
you're the one who elected to go to the pirate ship. I mean, that's not lazy. A lazy person would have been like, all right, well, that was a hard fight. I'm gonna go rest. But yeah, so you guys are able to. Wait, what's that, Freyr?
Can I mention that the carpet looks the same as the wardrobe has like a magical property to it? Can I tell him that?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell him whatever you want. You don't got to ask me.
Right, well, I'm telling you that, Arathian. I'm drawing your attention to the carpet and how it has the same properties. So something's going on.
I try to walk through the carpet.
I was about to try to push him through.
So yeah, as you walk through the carpet, so whenever you step on the carpet earlier, just like walking around, you don't really notice, you don't really have a foot feel, right? Like you're not looking around trying to feel on your feet, but now you notice that it's been pointed out and you're looking down, and the edges of the carpet that you're stepping on seem to be illusory. They don't seem to actually be there. The carpet itself, once you kick through that illusion, you notice that the carpet itself is much smaller than this grand scale, and it's only about 4 feet by 6 feet, instead of like this gigantic 10-foot carpet that you thought it was.
Cool. So is there something under this small carpet that I'm at? Can I like lift the small part up? Obviously, I can't.
Yeah, you can lift it.
So
there's nothing underneath it.
Okay. Was there anything other than the carpet? Like, was it this illusion hiding anything on the floor, or is the illusion still there? I guess.
So the illusion is still there, regardless if you move it around or not. But it doesn't look like it seems to be hiding anything.
I'm gonna just shrug at Freyr, like, I don't know.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do over here before going back to torturing the captain of the ship, or talking to him respectfully? However, good cop, bad cop, whatever it is you guys are gonna try to do here.
I don't have anything.
I'm good.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So you guys make your way back, however you choose to get back, whether by Creed take you over one at a time or you swing back over. We're just going to skip over that. So you guys make your way back over, and Freyr, you still have the the bag that you found out of the drawer. Kree still has the money that you found in the chest upstairs and the maps. Arathian, you have the hat that are you still wearing it?
Yeah, I like
Okay,
that.
so the hat that you're wearing is like this. It's slightly obnoxious, which it kind of fits you perfectly, because it's very big, kind of like a droopy sailor hat, but it's colorful. So it's kind of a mixtures of like this sage green with kind of a black feather, almost like a sparrow feather coming out of it, and it feels really good on your head. It's like a perfect fit.
Perfect. I love it. I'm going to continue to wear it.
And you look
defend it
great.
with my life. That's all I need.
Perfect.
And I will never take it off. I will kill somebody over this hat now.
And there's the good old Trey.
It's like I didn't even have to make this like magic item have any type of like sentient.
You just had to
he's
put it
already
5 feet away from the rest.
He doesn't. It's
Had
not
it
even like.
slightly 2
It's
inches
not even
away
like.
from the rest.
Doesn't even like believe in itself, or it's not like a hat that's like trying to get you to kill people. But he's like, "You looking at my fucking hat? Are you looking at it? Maybe the last thing you fucking look at." Okay, cool. So you guys go back to the ship. The rest of you guys, I know it's been a minute. So what are y'all up to? I know that Silex is about to go talk to the captain.
Yeah,
The rest
so-
of yous, what are you doing?
Would I see that Silas has a sense of anger about him, like heading towards the ships down below?
I'd say
Like
so.
it's gonna be real obvious
I'd say
because
so.
as I'm walking, my gauntlets are gonna manifest, and it's the very spiky gauntlets working very, very quickly.
I'm gonna spend most of my time on the deck because I'm gonna search Stewart, make sure he has no personal effects on him that maybe needs to go to somebody, as you would with a body. Make sure there's no notes or anything of that kind of nature on him. That'll be later on. Go through his personal effects. But if I see Silex going towards that, I would probably step towards him and be like, "You might want to tame your anger. If we wait till tomorrow, I can make certain spells. Make sure he tells us the truth, unless you're adamant about beating it out of him."
We everything is well prepared. And I'll just keep walking.
Under my breath, I go, "I suppose I'll get some healing spells ready."
So whenever I get there, just let me know, Shade.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, you're walking there sternly. There's definitely some heavy footfalls of your boots clanking against the deck as you walk across. Zinro, as you inspect Stu, you don't have any because of the nature of the battle, he wasn't really like dressed. Most of you guys were just getting up from sleeping, so you didn't really have anything on him. But I'll have you do I'll have you make a perception check with advantage since you're like going through his business here.
It's gonna be a 14 total.
Perfect. So yeah, whenever you look at him and you kind of go through and you're kind of picking through his pockets and making sure you're any valuables or sentimental things are taken care of. You notice that not all the blades, not all the cuts are even on his body. It's not all from the same sword.
Now, I didn't probably see too much of him fighting.
You guys didn't see him fight at all. You guys came and found his body after the fight.
Right. And he had like a spear or a sword through him into the deck of the internals of the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he had a javelin that was pierced through him, and that seems to be the fatal blow. But he also had cuts on his body from some sort of struggle.
Can I tell maybe how many different weapons were used against him?
Yeah, 2. Well, besides the javelin,
Right.
2 different swords.
And there was only one dead body of a sailor.
One of the swords. Yeah, down low, there's only one dead body of the sailor. The sword that you can tell, one is definitely a clean cut, curved blade. You can tell because of just how smooth the cut is. The other one seems to have some sort of jagged blade on it.
So I'm down there too with the body. Can
The
I?
way that skin tears.
Can
Well,
I?
We would be at the top deck, I think, because I took him up on the top deck, and we're going to give him a Sailor's
Yeah.
fear.
Well, wherever y'all are inspecting the body.
Right. So can I maybe go downstairs and go see if I can find the other blade or see what's going on there?
Yeah, I'll say out loud so she knows. It's like,
Hey.
I feel like the wounds here indicate more than one person was fighting him, but we only saw one body. Let's see if you can find a jagged edge.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go start looking and seeing if I can find anything around where he died and where the fight or where I think the fight happened, and see if there's anything in the area.
Okay. Yeah, you go down there and you see the body of the dead pirate. And next to him lays his blade, which does have blood drawn, but it's a smooth blade, as expected. And as you're looking
Is
at
there
the body,
anything else?
Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
you go ahead.
Is there anything else in the area? Like, anything that I maybe could surmise was used to stab him that maybe wasn't a blade? I mean, just something that looks jagged
Yeah.
that maybe has blood on it.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Yeah, so you're able to look through thoroughly. You're able, like, you've figured out exactly what the design is of the blade. You can tell that it's partially smooth with kind of a jagged part on the curve of the blade, and you don't see anything in here that could have possibly made that cut.
Okay.
And you're sure
So
of it.
I'm going to go and just go ahead and relay that information to Zinro, that someone who was involved in this fight, and I'm going to keep it kind of quiet, like, because I don't know. I mean, the person could still be around. It could be the captain. It could, I mean, we just had this whole fucking fight with Bradbury. I'm going to keep my eye on him. But I'm just going to go ahead and quietly relay to Zinro that the weapon that was used against him is not there.
Okay. Yeah, as you go up the stairs, like, to go talk to Zinro, you actually pass by Silex going down into the deck with his gauntlets out on his fists. So Silex, you get up to the door, and you see, whenever you enter the room, you see the captain of the pirate ship sitting on a chair with his hands kind of tied behind his back, looking up at you with a disgusted kind of pitiful look on his face.
Like he's mad at me, or just like a sad pity party of me I lost kind of look?
Yeah. Kind of mad at you and disappointed in you. He has this, like, disappointed look on his face. He looks up at you and he says, "So you're just gonna take me captive? You're not gonna kill me?
So I walk in.
What kind of captain
right?
do you think you are?"
And I turn around and I slowly close the door. And I take a breath. I cast detect magic first and foremost. Does he have anything magic on him? Is there anything glowing? As I look at this poor sod.
No.
And then I straight up clock him in the jaw. And at the same time, because I have to touch, I do level 1 cure wounds. So it's 1d8 of healing through my punch.
Punch him and cure him. Okay, so yeah, he's looking up at you, and as he's saying, "What kind of captain are you?" and you punch him across the face, and you see, like, blood. Just because I think it's a funny visual, like, you see, like, blood spew from his mouth, and, like, a tooth, like, lets itself free, and it starts to, like, fall and, like, go into, and then at the same time, the magic of the cure wounds, like, reverses it, and the tooth goes back in, and the blood comes back inside. And he looks back at you, and he's like, very confused, but it still kind of hurts. He's like, "This is new."
I'm gonna search him. I want to disrobe him all the way down to the skivvies. Just nothing on him except handcuffs and underwear.
"Excuse me, is this how you do business on this ship?"
Just not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Do I find anything on him in the pockets or anything?
When do you start taking off your trousers?
You don't want that to happen. And so
Maybe I do. And he gives you kind of a wink, and then he chuckles.
I'm gonna poke that eye really, really hard with my metal glove.
Oh, shit. Ah. Oh, I see. Because I'm a pirate, you want me to have a little an eye patch. I see. Clever.
Poke the other one.
Clever. Fuck. Okay. What is it? What do you want from me?
Wow. So is he disrobed? Is there nothing in his pockets? Nothing?
Yeah, he's
no
fucking
necklaces?
naked. You stripped him down.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm covering all the bases here.
You want to check? You want to check his crevices too? He'll bend over for you.
Nope, I don't want to check anything. So I'm going to pull up another chair and I'm going to kind of sit in front of him.
Can I have my?
pirating.
Can I have
Tell me
my?
about that. How'd that go for you?
Excuse me.
Well, I'm saying you fucking sucked at this apparently. So.
Well, they
Tell me
didn't
how
tell
this
me
going
what
for
it
you
was
right
that
now.
I was going to fight. They didn't tell me what it was I was going to fight. They said go in, take it, and get out.
Take what?
And know that it was going to be fucking 50 of you.
Take what? Who told you to take what?
You're going to have to fucking kill me. I'm not going to give anyone up.
Well, see, the thing about that
You already
is-
killed me, crew.
I
You
can
took me
cure you
ship.
myself, but I've got two
Cure
more
me.
people that can cure you, so we can make this process last quite a while, and then they can go on for days because that refreshes it every day. It's a brand new rest, and you cost to me someone I invested heavily in. So let's try and understand each other. That you are not in a position to really want that. And I've also got a crazy ass bard who will mess with your mind. So I need you
I
to
don't really
understand.
think you understand.
That
I'm not.
This killing you isn't an option. However, psychologically breaking you is.
I don't
So-
know what that fucking means. I just wanted to make a little extra money. I didn't know you're gonna have fucking 25 of you with doing magics and shit.
Okay, so someone told you to come after us, is what I'm inferring from this conversation so far.
Obviously, yes.
Okay, so who was that person or organization?
I already done told you. Are you dense up there or what? I've told you I'm not going to say it. You're gonna
Why?
have
Is
to kill
there a
me.
reason? Do you have anything left to lose? I mean, if you could play the
Absolutely
whole trope
not.
of if
You
I
took
tell
me
you they'll
ship.
kill me.
You
but-
killed me entire crew.
Yeah, I killed your entire crew. You attacked us. That's what happens. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. That's how it happens. So, question is, do I have to bring in my crazy bard friend and we extract it from you painfully, or you can tell me and I can make it quick?
So, when you say to play stupid games,
Yeah.
whose fucking game are you playing?
A
Holding
survival
around all that dragon
game of
scale.
life. You attacked an unknown vessel with unknown occupants, with unknown strengths.
Speaking of unknown, do you know whose fucking dragon scale that is you're holding around? You want
I've
to
been
play
told a lot of
stupid
people.
games?
So that's
You
what
want to
you're
play
after.
stupid games? You don't want to hold on to that shit, I tell you.
So someone
Give
told you to
two
come after
fucking
our
government.
dragon scale. That's what you're
This
here
fucking
for.
guy. Can I talk to somebody with more than a half a brain, please? I'm not getting
well, I
anywhere with
mean-
this one. Who's the captain of this fucking ship?
Me,
Oh, Jesus.
the captain that's
No
thwarted
wonder
your
you
efforts.
guys.
So,
No wonder you're carrying dragon scale. You fucking moron.
well, I mean, you could tell me who owns the dragon scale, and I could be more aware of it.
I don't know if you heard of maybe the entire Fintheon fucking government. Have you heard of I don't know, the Empire of Crete? Maybe then
Well,
you've heard of who fucking owns the dragon scale, you fucking dense idiot.
I'm just gonna.
You're gonna have to kill
Just
me.
one, two to the face. Ba-ba!
Yeah, he's at this point he's asking for it. Yeah, he deserves at least one or two. Are you gonna heal him back up, or are you gonna
No,
just
I'm
let
just
him?
gonna do one. I'll just do one strength damage. He's got 9 hit points. If he was at 1, he's got
Okay.
10 hit points because I healed him for 9. So just one strength each time because that's what my modifier is. So ba-ba.
Yeah, so he's down to 7.
And then another thing,
He
if
kind of
there's a little
spits
table
up
in
some
there,
blood.
I wanna summon my magical artisan tools, and I want to summon a chisel that I put in the table and a hammer.
Dude, you got to do the whole scene where you like unfold the tools like one
Yeah,
flap at a
basically,
time.
like every time he calls me something, I'm just gonna spawn another tool and put it in the table. Like, let's understand each other here.
Okay,
This could
okay,
go
tough
on for
guy.
quite a
All right, I
while.
see what's going on.
So someone specifically hired you. If it's the Pantheon dynasty, that's understandable. I've got a council member on my ship. 2.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say that they hired me. I said you're running around with their shit. I'm saying that you fucking
who
stole from
told
them.
you?
Who told
Baby,
me?
someone had to tell you.
The person who paid me with a bunch of fancy magic shit
Ooh,
to
you
come
got
and take
magic
it
shit.
back. Not anymore. I'm sure you fucking have it now. You took me ship.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably. And then I kind of want to throat chop him, so he shuts up for a minute.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And then I want to open the door, and I want to yell for Arathian if he's here. Can Arathian hear me?
I don't know if they're
I
back
can't
yet.
hear you.
Maybe. Yeah, if he's back.
I don't know. Am I?
If they're back on the ship, then yeah, he can hear you.
Hey, Bart! Arathian!
Am I back on the ship at this point?
You went from trying to be intimidating to
Probably.
Bart! Bart!
Yeah. He like throat chops. He's like, "Hello, Arathian. Come on."
I'll make my way
And
down.
I
That
need
sounds
I
fine.
need some mind stuff. Come here.
I'll make my way down.
Yeah, so Arathian, you get down there and you see him sitting in a chair, and for a second it gives you a little, you kind of hold back because you remember being in a chair just like a week ago, or at this point about a month ago, but you shake that off pretty quickly and you're like, aha, the tides have turned.
So, Arathian, he knows someone hired him to come after us for the dragon scale. So I need you to rip his mind apart a little bit.
I'm gonna ignore that for a little bit, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what's up with that wardrobe that's in your room, man?"
Wardrobe.
Gee, I told you they'd find it.
Well,
Well, yeah, it wasn't fucking hidden very well. I walked right through it.
I don't know how to fucking hide it. Could you tell me how to hide it?
Yeah,
She
magic,
just said,
bro.
she said, here, put this in your ship. It'll hold more things. And I was like, okay. And I put it in my quarters because I thought it'd be safe. And,
It wasn't. So what?
apparently not.
What is it? What all of? Give me a rundown. All right, I've already done it. I just want to make sure that I can sink it and not be worried about it.
Listen, fella, I'll be honest, compared to the other idiot who's been talking to me, you seem actually pretty all right. You seem with it. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a right fucking mind what the fuck she gave me.
Cool.
There's some
So what was
tools. Yeah. I think it
was
does
that,
magics, but I don't know how to do magics.
were the weapons interesting in there? Like anything of note?
Apparently.
But you didn't know how to use them.
I was gonna try.
No,
But
I'm just checking.
I'm not
Just
really
understanding.
trained in that sort of thing.
No, it's understandable. It's a very hard task to deal with magic. I understand. It took me years to even. I don't even use normal magic. I just sing nicely.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. We sing too. We sing shanties.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
Magic ones. But at the same time, I'm a little worried. What all did she give you? Was it like just a couple weapons in the box? Like any of the clothes, were they interesting? Like what all was given to you by her? I'm just worried that like if I sink it, I don't want to cause the world to be, ripped in half. I'm more worried about like your family back home, man.
Yeah, his eyes are kind of glazing over, just to kind of realizing he has no clue what was given to him.
But
He's telling you that he has no idea what it is that she gave him.
no, not like
he's-
the
he's-
exact items, but like what were they? Like I know there was probably a javelin, a sword, maybe. Did she give you any clothes?
Yeah.
Like what was the itinerary of the box that she gave you? Like what was the list of items? Like were some of your items in this box?
Yeah, I put some of my clothes in there.
Yeah. So what wasn't yours in that box?
Well, I don't really remember what was in there. I've been hit on the head a lot by this fucking clown.
I'm gonna just reach over, give like a little calm emotions spell. Probably fix whatever. Maybe it helps a concussion. I don't know.
Sure. That's how that works. Okay.
Stop. Let's see if that calms him down enough to help answer the question. Like if you had to guess, just like I'm guessing there's some pretty special stuff in there to you, man. I mean, that was a pretty nice little wardrobe you had.
It was, yeah. You used
Yeah.
to.
I'm here
So
for it. I
she
get
gave
you.
me. Essentially, it was just dropped off as a wardrobe. I kind of thought I was getting scuffed, to be honest. Didn't really have anything in there. I opened it up and it was blatantly empty. And then she did this cool thing where she put her whole hand in it, and like you could just go all the way in it. And there was like a whole nother room in there.
Yeah. No,
And that's cool. Where there were some items that were given as part of the payment, and then I put my clothes. You know, I had my jackets, my scarves, my hats.
So what were the items as the payment? Like what was the payment list?
The wardrobe, yeah, the whole wardrobe was the payment.
Right. But what was in the wardrobe before you put your stuff in there?
There was some like weapons.
Did you put any weapons in there?
Yes. Yeah.
What little bag?
There's a little bag. There was like a roll up like carpet. There was like a spear.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
And I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I got ripped off. Pretty gross.
No, I don't think you did. I think it was a good deal. I think it was a good deal. So about this bag, I didn't see a bag. Is that what happened to the bag?
The bag. Yeah, she said not to open the bag.
Oh, so you haven't
opened
opened
we looked
the bag.
inside it.
Of
course we opened the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was inside?
Yeah. It's some fucking peppers, man. Don't drop them.
Peppers?
Tell you that.
What?
I don't know what you call them.
What happens when you drop it? What? You dropped it. What happened? Ah, got you. It's like bombs. Cool. No, I understand, man. That's.
Yeah, she said I could plant. She said that I could plant them and it'll grow, but I live on a boat.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere to plant anything.
Of course.
So.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That makes sense. I wouldn't. Of course. Why would you try to fucking plant on the? Yeah. No. You're right.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure I got ripped off.
No. I think you did, and I kind of want to look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that I have a kinship to you right now. I feel like we're connecting on a level. I really just want to like get revenge for you for this terrible deed. Do you remember who she was? Like, I'll go kill her myself. I feel upset that you got ripped off so badly.
Make a persuasion roll with advantage.
Sure will.
And Silex, you're still here, right?
Yeah, I'm standing behind him, just like grinning like a fool. Like this is why I'm friends with the boy.
That's gonna be a 24.
Yeah, so he kind of leans in. He's like, "You really think you can help?"
I know that I can.
He's gonna like kind of do this like to get you to like lean in for a whisper.
I'll get pretty close.
This doesn't leave this room.
Of course not. Of
It's
course
lady.
not. Except when I kill her.
I was hired by the Lady Amathea, the
Gotcha.
Empress
Lady Amathea.
of Athena.
Oh, you pretty high up there. Pretty good connection you got there, buddy.
She doesn't leave this room,
No, of course not. It would never leave
Please.
the room. And I'm gonna
or
turn
you're
to
all dead.
turn to Silex, and I'm just gonna be like, "You need anything else?" Like mouth it to Silex. Like you got Silex.
What? Sorry, I was.
I'm gonna like turn to you with my back, and I'm gonna be like, "Anything else?" But I'm gonna just mouth it to you.
How they were contacted? Like that. That's what I want to know.
I mean, we got the name, and she seems pretty pop and famous.
What was the name one more time?
So it's Lady Amalthea. He just pronounced it wrong. It's Amaltheia.
Oh, any proof of the hiring?
The wardrobe would be the only
Okay.
thing you would.
We'll get that.
No, that's what I wanted.
All right, then I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna cast hideous
Silex.
laughter on him and just kill him.
Silex, before he does that, Silex, you instantly recognize the name as soon as it's spoken, because she's the Empress of Athena in Crete, and that's kind of where you spent a lot of time growing up because you were trained right there at the fortress next to it. So it's a very famous name. Your father like served with her. Like
Okay.
she's a bad bitch.
So I'm gonna
She's like
stop
one of
him
the
real
like
quick.
top political figures.
So hold on, Arathian.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna address him now. The captain. So you're saying that one of the highest ranking Crete royalty hired you to chase after a 5-pound bag of dragon scale.
5 pounds. You have $5 million worth of dragon scale on this ship right now, and you think I'm concerned with 5 pounds?
I mean, I guess Bradbury would still.
And you
have a
remember
chest.
that Bradbury has that entire
the
chest worth of it
That's right. I
that,
forgot
that
about
you guys
that.
helped steal.
No, you're right. You're right. I did forget about that. So, the Fenthian and the Crete are actually trying to take the dragon scale. This is great. This is great. Political wonder. What? Didn't know anything. So you were
Anything
hired
else you
by an
guys wanna
empress
ask him?
with a wardrobe.
Oh.
So you were hired by an empress with a wardrobe, a magical wardrobe, and magical captain's quarters, which I will have to go inspect, to hunt down a chest full of dragon scale. I think that's about it. So all is left is your repayment to Stu.
Stu.
Arathian, you can take a walk, and I'll have a little alone time.
I'm a little
Hey,
worried.
Stu, what happened to Stu?
That's fine. Everything's good. And I'll just kind of usher Arathian out. Just
Guess I'm on my way out. I don't.
And then I will eventually kill him. I'm not going to go and describe it. I'm going to make it painful, but I will just kill him after a while.
Okay. Yep. Guys never even got his name.
I wasn't worried about it. So,
All right, so he's dead.
When I leave, I wanna try to get that wardrobe over to this side, to bring it to our ship.
Okay. I mean, you can try.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, you guys are gonna have to explain how to do that.
I'm definitely gonna get everyone else's opinion. I'm gonna be like,
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we'll say you guys finish up there, and then you guys all meet back up top, and you can now, because splitting the party up like that kind of is time consuming because a lot of people just sit around and watch. So now you guys are all back together. You guys can communicate what you just learned from the captain, whose name was Alder, by the way.
I wasn't worried.
So, I'll let
Work hard
Sasha-
on these names.
So we we learned from a little buddy that he was hired by an important lady. I'm not so worried about that. What I am worried about is he has a magical wardrobe that is like a whole extra room, and I feel like that's cool. So
what
I want to.
lady?
I don't know, some important
High Creek
empress,
royalty.
From where?
Princess Amidala. I don't know. So at the same time,
From the Crete Empire.
Sai knows her. Whatever. But the wardrobe, it's like a whole.
Freya would know her
room.
as well.
A whole
Oh,
room.
What was in the room?
Magic stuff.
Oh yeah, I had magic detect when the Rathian came on. Is his hat magical?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it.
Can I see your hat?
No,
Rathian?
you cannot. That is a no.
No.
I just want to identify it for you.
I don't care what you want to do. So the wardrobe. I think that's the only thing over there of value, really. And I think honestly, we can put a ton of shit in it and like move it over. So if we want to get like more cannonballs and shit, let's throw it in that wardrobe. But we have to find some way to get it over here. So let's brainstorm that.
Well, I gotta go see it first, see if it can be moved or if it's bolted to the wall or.
I mean, it got put on the boat. I don't assume that he bolted.
I don't know how it got put on the boat. If it got put on the boat magically, we might be fucked.
So
Can we
why
tie the ships together?
I don't think that guy knew anything about magic. Let's be real.
why do we want this?
It's
Like,
like
why
a
do you
whole-
want it?
It's like a bag of holding, but a wardrobe.
We have one.
Yeah, we have one, but we could have a wardrobe.
We could have another.
Yeah, the more dimensional like closet space you can have, I mean, it's the better.
I also think you could hide in it.
We could
You
sleep
could.
in there. It was a room.
How about we go look at it and see what we can get from there? It's going to require strength and magic of some kind, I'd assume. We might need the druids to.
It's still
break
now
it
about
out.
3 a.m. in the morning.
Yes, we can go. Yeah, let's go look at this magic thing that Arathian really wants.
Yeah, I'm awake anyway.
So I guess we'll go look at that.
Hey, I have
Yeah.
a question. The necklaces that me and Sage are wearing, do they have magical properties? Are we attuned to them? Do you know what
Yes.
they do now, since you've had them for so long?
It allows you to speak with plants.
Okay, perfect.
I'd like to say something to Silex before he goes over to the other ship.
Yes,
Before you go, I was looking over Stuart's body, and I noticed when we found him, there was only one person from either side, Stuart and the person who he killed. Sage and I have discovered that there are other wounds, a blade that had jagged edges, a second assailant to Stuart, but no second body on the ship. Keep a keen eye on their ship to make sure there are no stowaways. We may have a problem on our hands if somebody is lurking about.
Hearing that, I still no, it's probably been more than 10 minutes. So I'll cast detect magic again. Is there anyone within 30 feet invisible? I mean, I know us and stuff, but is there any magic that I'm seeing that shouldn't be there?
There's a few new items that have been brought on the ship that seem to have some sort of magical properties, but nothing as far as invisibility goes. Obviously, different players and different people on the ship have magical weapons and things like that as well.
Okay. Well, I know his hat. What other magical items am I seeing that I don't, but I'm not familiar
Right
with?
now, you see a javelin, which definitely catches your eye, Silex, because it seems to be made of dragon scale. And then you see a sword, which looks somewhat necrotic of nature, like skeletal style, like black hardened metal, certified bitchin', but
Alright.
And then you do see a slight glow coming out of Freyr's pocket.
Okay. Freyr has a javelin though, right?
Yeah.
No, I thought you took the sword. No, yeah, you have the javelin. Yeah, you have the javelin.
Hey Freyr, later I want to take a look at that if that's okay. I just want to identify it and see how it works.
What, this?
Yeah, the javelin.
All right.
Point.
He's got it for
As you
everyone to
point-
see. This?
As you point, like the blue lights kind of like surge through it. Kind of like what you saw Silex and Kree like in the armor. You saw like a little bit like a faint blue hue. Whenever he like readies this, it sends like a lightning shock through. Like nothing of damage, of course. It's just the visuals lights up. It goes from like black to almost like pale white and blue.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything about the pocket. I'll just make note of it and then head over to the ship and keep my eye out. Keep magic detect on. And,
As right before he does, I'm going to grab his arm one more time and I'm going to look you in the eyes, Silex, and be like, "Am I to give 2 funerals tomorrow morning?"
you should give one proper funeral, and if you would like to give another, I won't stop you. But as long as we give Stu his, that's all I care about.
Am I assuming I know what that means when he says that?
Do you?
I get the idea.
And you also see Captain Thompson finally come upstairs out of his quarters and kind of see everyone there. And he heard you guys talking. And he's also going to chime in about the Stewart situation. He's kind of holding his hat over his heart, kind of with both hands pressed against his chest. He says, I don't claim to be the most witty, practical, school-studied person here on the ship, but I can't help but question. We found Stewart here with a javelin through his chest, and we saw a dead pirate next to him. Can someone please explain to me how it was that Stewart was able to kill this pirate, and with that dying blow, he shoves a javelin through his chest? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I missed something. But I really, really want to find out if one of you, and he kind of looks up now from his kind of somber demeanor, he looks up at everybody. Really want to find out if one of you is responsible for the death of Stewart.
Who's speaking? I'm sorry.
And if I find out, this is Captain Thompson.
Got it.
And if I do find out, I can only hope that, and he looks over to Zenro, I can only hope that there's people here that can pray for your souls.
If you put your mind, Captain, tomorrow morning, as soon as the funeral is over and a bit of rest is granted to myself, I can make sure that everyone in a particular room has the ability to tell the truth, if that makes any sense to you. And we can ask anybody any questions we like at that point.
Love
I
that.
think we need to make sure that Bradbury is in that room as well.
I assume the whole ship would be there on that one, Vitra.
And I'm gonna go put my hand on Captain Thompson's shoulder, and I'm just gonna kind of give him a nod and said it will be mandatory for everyone to be there.
He shakes his head. He's like, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
For now, Captain, can I ask you to gather whatever wood you can, and when I get back, we will start mending the Rosabella up.
All right. Gummin, let's get to work. So Captain and Gummin start working on basic repairs. Actually, the Rosabella wasn't that fucked up. Really just that one cannon got messed up. They started swinging over pretty quickly. Not too much damage to the hull, but still could use some repairs. But yeah, so the rest of you guys, how are you planning on getting over to the ship? Are you guys going to try to sail closer? Are you trying to pull it closer by rope? I mean, what's your plan to get over there?
I assume we would pull it closer now that we've gotten everything situated and we know that we want to bring something over. We do want to be closer to it. So that was my idea.
I I mean, if we can get it, probably are we about 20 feet away? There's a 20-foot gap.
Right. Yeah, about
If we
20
can pull
feet.
it to about 10 feet, we might be able to use like the walking plank when you board a ship, and like try and get that over and see how far that reaches.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so try and wrangle up some rope, and I can fashion something, I guess, out of metal real quick to work as a hold and get everyone to pull it over.
Well, I mean, they swung over, so I'm assuming that rope has grapples on it.
Very true.
It does. No. It wasn't a grapple. They shot a crossbow.
Oh, that's right.
A crossbow tied. I mean, still same. I mean, you can still use that rope, but it's like shot up into the mainsail, kind of up high.
You know what we can do? Cloud, can I collect the rope? And I'll give one end to Kree, and Kree can fly over and tie it, and then we can pull. Works for. I won't be able to pull it myself. I need everyone to pull.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So what do I roll? Strength? What am I rolling?
Well, yeah, I'd say it's got to be some sort of like athletics check to see if you can make that maneuver happen. Because you're trying to swing the rope and like pull it, right?
No, I'm giving Kree rope to tie to the other ship, and then I need everyone's help to pull the ship.
Oh, yeah. He can just fly over, no
that's
problem.
What I'm saying.
And tie it.
And then I need.
Yeah. So you guys would all need to like kind of heave in unison.
That's what I'm saying.
Got it. Yeah, that's easy. Okay, yeah. So Kree's able to go and tie, just over to like one of the rails, and you guys start kind of pulling and kind of heaving little by little to try to get it closer and closer. And you can definitely tell now these are still, 5,000-pound ships, right? So it's not easy to just heave, but it slowly and surely does kind of make way. There's no point in rolling a strength check. Eventually, you guys will pull it there. But yeah, once you guys get across, you do see the same kind of open deck on the top, and then you go down below and you see the destruction, which is going to be very difficult to try to maneuver a wardrobe across to get that. That would be considered extremely rough terrain because it's like all broken wood and shattered, and the floor is barely held together because of all the cannons you guys shot at it. But yeah, you can definitely try to get the wardrobe out.
So I want to go inspect the room with detect magic on. If that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So whenever you walk in the room, you see that cupboard light up, and then of course the carpet you guys saw kind of light up as well.
So what is the carpet? I mean, the carpet looks bigger than it is. Is that it?
Yeah, it's like an illusion spell to make the carpet look bigger than it is.
Is there anything under the carpet? Like if I lift the whole carpet, whatever.
Earlier.
Okay.
The carpet itself's magic.
Nothing there.
Okay. So how big is the original carpet? Not the illusion carpet, but just the actual fabric.
About 4 feet by 6 feet. So it's pretty long rectangular.
Okay, I'm gonna roll that up, and I'm just gonna put that in the bag of holding vertically, so that just disappears.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll inspect the cupboard. I'll go in it. I don't know. Is this gonna kill me, Arathian?
Yeah.
There's a good chance.
Well, shit. So I'll go in it. There's still magical shit in it, or is it just all magical?
It's been pretty, technically, yeah. With detect magic, the entire walls and everything, you're in a different dimension.
Okay.
So yeah, everything you're in here is technically magical, but it doesn't seem like there's any particular magical items left in here.
Okay.
Besides the wardrobe itself.
Okay. So the wardrobe is too big to fit in the bag of holding. How big is the wardrobe? Like what are the dimensions of that?
Probably like 9 feet tall. Like it goes like floor to ceiling. It's like a big wardrobe. Like it's like
One more.
I'd say like 8 feet tall, about 4 feet wide, and about 3 feet deep. It's a thick boy. It's like the Marley of wardrobes. Yeah.
So and then this is below what part? What part is it below? Is it just below the deck, or is it below the control room?
Second deck, yeah, lower deck. Yeah, actually, it is below the control room.
So we'd have to get it through 2 panels of wood. We wanted to lift it out.
Is everybody there, or is it just a few of y'all that went over?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I'm gonna stay on the first ship. I'm gonna take the body of the. I assume I can get to the room the body of the captain of the pirate ship was in. I'm gonna lay him next to Stuart's, prepare his body for the rites, I guess, of what I'm normally doing. Also, I'm just gonna kind of take a look around and console Captain Thompson as best I can, and see if I can find a weapon that matches the wounds that I think I saw. And that's gonna be my time as they're doing that.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't see any weapons that look like it would match. I feel like everyone at this point is kind of keeping a keen eye out for that, and you don't quite see anything.
I am getting a little internally heated about the idea that Silex just essentially murdered somebody. And I don't like that a lot, but I will come to terms in time, I suppose.
I understand. So everyone back at the other ship, are you going to try to lift it out, carry it out, throw it out the water, hope it floats? I mean, what's your plan?
I mean, is anybody directing, or are we just all like? Because we were kind of talking about lifting.
Actually, that might not be a bad idea. How, if the wall behind it, does that lead to like directly out to the ocean?
Yeah, it'd be all the way at the back
So
of the
if we
ship.
blew out that back wall, then tied a rope around it back to our ship, we might be able to pulley it to our ship. That's the best thing I got.
Oh.
Kind of go butt to butt with the ships. Kind of like you're trying to like when you're trying to like jump start a car and you gotta like make sure that they're
What if
close enough at the front.
What if Rain and I turned into sharks again and like heaved from the other side? We could try that out. Like lash some ropes to us.
I love it.
Wardrobe.
I'm asking.
That is
I'm
an
asking.
option.
We can
Can I
do
do
that.
option.
I'm volunteering.
Can I just be a sane conscience here and say, do we really need this thing?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
That's cool.
Okay.
I want to know more about this woman and how she knew that we had dragon scale.
Not so much that we had dragon scale, that there's a chest of dragon scale on that ship.
Probably a tracker or something, right? Like dragon magic. Is that like a thing?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, am I just dumb and don't understand dragon scale? But like, how does someone in Crete know that we have dragon scale?
I mean,
We haven't
to
been
be
anywhere
fair,
near Crete.
We're all a little dumb for this, because none of us know what dragon scale is really. So
Yeah, my
I mean-
wisdom 0, so intelligence 0. I ain't no shit.
I talk a lot.
I mean, this is all things that we can have a conversation when we're all together, but like we're not all together. Otherwise, I would say like, certain conversational things come up. Like, was maybe Bradbury part of, so and so? Was he part of Crete? Is that why he's getting it back? So like, basically, I was waiting for those times where we're all together.
These can just be things that maybe I'm just like muttering out loud as I'm watching them try and lift a wardrobe that I feel is unnecessary, and try and get it together ship. I'm just muttering it to myself.
Just a captain wanted a fancy wardrobe.
I mean, it's fair. We don't really need the wardrobe, I guess. I mean, it's cool, but is there no mechanism on it, Shade, that I can make it smaller with? Is there anything like a switch? I mean, they had to get it on the ship somehow, unless they teleported it in. So it still would have been hard to fit an 8-foot tall wardrobe through a door on the second layer of a ship. So
Yeah, it was definitely you assume it was definitely difficult, but they also had a full crew of men and they were docked. So it's just a matter of carrying it in rather than you guys could definitely try to carry it out. But there's a bunch of shrapnel and destroyed wood that would make that difficult at the moment.
Rathy, you don't have any spells that could help. Right.
I could blow a hole in the boat again.
Got this cool hat.
Yeah, got a dope hat, man.
well, we might just be taking a loss here, Arathian.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, we gotta give it a shot. Oh, call
It's
it
just got a bunch of magic items. You're calling it a loss. Jesus.
I mean, you know, I go to a side and I like try to push it. Like how heavy are we talking here? Like we talking like I can't even.
It's probably a couple
It's not
hundred
too
pounds.
bad. Like,
Yeah,
we
it's
could-
pretty
we could
heavy.
get, like 4 of us on it.
I mean, definitely with like multiple people, it's definitely manageable to carry.
Grease a
I mean, it's
whole
not like a
third
solid
person.
steel.
If we can get it to the top, we can just like pull it with a rope over, like pulley system.
I'm not flying this shit over.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you fly it over, but like we put a rope over our mast and we like pick it up and it'll just like swing over there, and then we can just put it on the front and we'll move it later. Like, you know, the good old days.
All right, I guess we'll just try carrying it. I don't see any other option.
Yeah, I mean, I have
Okay.
nothing.
Like whoever's not carrying it could just move shrapnel and wood out of the way. That they can.
Maybe Sage can turn into a rhino, just like piggyback it up.
A
Or a
swimming
gorilla?
rhino?
Maybe a gorilla or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I could
I
do that.
I don't think you can turn into it. Can you turn into a gorilla?
Can we?
I assume I can. I don't
What's
know why
your
not.
what's
It's
your size differential right now? Like what's your
Yeah.
limit?
it's the way that my understanding is it's more to do with like as the levels go up, you can fly. Like that's the biggest thing that they talk about. I don't know about sizing though. I don't think
Is
I can
it-
be giant,
Is
but
it size or is it CR rating? I don't remember.
oh fuck, I can't. I don't know.
What are we wanting this animal to do?
I think it'd
Be strong.
be a
Just
big
be
Do
bull.
like a
Strong and, like,
bull,
lift
right? Like an
something?
ox, maybe.
yeah. I definitely can do an ox. I can do like land animals and stuff. I
Shoot.
assume I can be a gorilla, but I don't know.
We
I
could
just
strap the-
let's not waste anything more.
So to stop it before it goes too far, I will tell you that keep in mind whenever you transform into another being, you also take on their intellect. And so if you're going to be trying to do things like carry an item, you got to remember an ape has an intellect, like an intelligence score of 6.
Yeah.
So you probably aren't going to be able to figure out how to get that rectangular box through that
Probably
door.
not.
Gorillas
Um,
can do sign language, okay? They're very intelligent.
After lots of training.
All right, let's just
training.
start carrying this. We're all tired. It's 3 a.m. Let's get this done.
Heave.
Leave ho. Let's go.
Bitches roll.
Um,
We're going.
how many? It's a wardrobe, so like not all 4 of us could be on this, or 5 of us, or however many people came over.
Oh goodness gracious.
So who's got best strength scores? Because I know it's not me.
I
Not
rolled a
me.
19.
I have a 7 in strength, so
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 19. So me and Cree, it looks like. What did you roll?
An 8. Someone's dying. Someone's getting squished.
Right.
I've got cure
I rolled
wounds.
So yeah, are you guys gonna who's all taking it? Who's all taking a corner?
I guess I'm taking half of it. It looks like.
I'll take a corner.
Okay. Okay. So give me strength rolls.
19.
8.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you start to walk through and Kree's fingers slip and you drop the wardrobe. And it looks like you scuff up the bottom a little
I
bit.
don't want to be doing this.
That's fine.
Yeah, why isn't Arathian doing it?
Because
He's the
Arathian
one
has a
who wants it
7
so
in
bad.
strength. I get a -2 to every roll. That's all I'm saying. I'm worried
He
about it.
also he doesn't want to mess up his hat.
Yeah, the hat's nice.
Mhm.
I've got a good hat.
Do we just keep rolling, Shade? What are we doing?
Yeah, keep
right.
going.
While they're walking, I'm gonna start kicking shit out of the way, like shrapnel, wood, whatever we can get.
You know what? Hey,
Not
actually, let's do this as a let's do this kind of like a death save scenario, right? Instead of just rolling strength checks, whatever, with like a DC 16, right? Let's do it to where you have the first 2 success. We'll say that counts as a failure since you dropped it once. We'll let you roll just a straight D20. And if it's over a 10 3 times, then you succeed in getting it out. If it's below a 10 2 more times, then you drop and break it.
Okay. Well, I just rolled a 15.
I just rolled an
Who wants
18.
to?
So
Yeah,
who
whoever
do you
wants
want
to
to
roll
roll?
that, I don't care.
I'll roll that. I'll take that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not a modifier. So whoever wants to.
So I just rolled an
take on that.
18, Shade.
Perfect. So it's 1 and 1,
That one's a 17.
2 and 1. One more, and you guys get it out.
That's a 9.
Uh-oh.
That's a 9.
Last roll. Last roll.
18.
Okay, so you guys, after some like slipping and like finger grip, you guys finally figure out a way to kind of wedge it. You really, Heather will appreciate this. You really figure out how to pivot to get this thing up the stairs.
I'm cussing the whole time
And
throughout this.
and yeah, there's someone in the background just yelling, "Pivot! Pivot!" You guys make your way up, and now you guys are up on the top deck. So you figured out how to get this big ass thing up on top of the deck. Now the next problem is getting it from this ship to the other ship.
So less of a
I'm
problem.
very excited to see the solution to this problem.
Because if there's one thing I know, it's pulleys. And so if we get the biggest, thickest rope we have, right, and we tie it around this thing, we get like a little cross rope here. Then we take that and we take it over our mast on the other side. Thickest part, not thin. We got to find the thickest part. Then we have us on the other side and we pull it up, and then it'll like swing a little bit. Maybe we'll have Kree like kind of stabilize it while it's in the air, and then we'll just lower it slowly onto the top of our boat. I'm just saying it's a work in progress.
Why do I feel like I'm doing a lot of work for something I don't want to do?
You're flying and just stopping it. None of us can
wings.
fly. Like, I'm sorry, that's your loss. So plus also you're the
Built a
strongest
character with
of us.
wings. I mean, what'd you expect? Yeah, buff wings.
So what's the biggest rope we got here?
I mean,
You want me to-
there's lots of big ropes. You're on a fucking ship.
Yeah, like
You got gigantic. You got ropes that are like this big.
let's do that one. That
I
one
mean,
sounds
you got
great.
ropes for days.
All right, so let's just do
If you
this
can
plan.
lift it.
If we drop it in the ocean, then that we're done. And that's it.
I mean, you got to realize some of these really thick ropes are heavy. I mean, that really thick rope that you're talking about is like likely used to anchor the ship. It's probably in total 1,000 pounds, like a
Yeah,
rope.
you're not wanting to use
It's
that. You don't want to
huge.
break the mast. You want to use probably just a regular size rope.
I mean, it's not super heavy. It's like what we said, a couple 100 pounds. That's like average human size. People are flinging over on other ropes. So like maybe 2 ropes, and we have one like go over already, and then we have the other one that just secures it more to that first rope and holds it in place as we bring it over.
Okay.
Okay, we need a roll for this.
Okay.
And then Kree will have you do some
Yeah.
flyboy stuff and put the rope over.
Bring Gay over here.
That's what we do for fun.
There's the plan. There you go. Let's do that.
Shade.
All right. I'm trying to figure out what exactly do you roll for a strange pulley system type scenario.
It's me rolling charisma. I guarantee that.
I would say it's more like
Performance.
intelligence
Yeah,
to
it's
do it.
Yeah.
I would say performance.
If it was me, I'd be like intelligence check to see if you know how
Or
to make a pulley
athletic.
system.
Yeah, she's got like an
Yeah.
engineering, right? Like you got to figure out. All right, so Arathian, since you're the one doing this plan, make a intelligence check for me here.
Oh, thank Christ. Okay, so that's a straight 17 because I have no pluses in intelligence.
Okay, so you theoretically you have the blueprints of how this should work. All right, so you're looking and you see that you can wrap this over the mast, and you know that like the weight is strong enough for something like this, and you know the right swing is perfect. Now you got to make it happen. So who's throwing the rope over the mast?
So we're gonna
And
have
who's gonna try to
Kree
swing?
fly it. Kree's gonna fly that rope.
Ah, that's right. All right, Birdie.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right, so
I can
Kree flies
fly.
it over. Yeah, he ties it. Are you trying to tie it up there and just like pendulum swing it, or are you trying to like pull it like a pulley?
Like a pulley. Like so we're
Okay,
gonna
so-
have it over and dangling down, and then when it comes down to it, we're gonna pulley it, and Kree will stabilize the thing.
Okay. Yeah, so
A lot
you
of
throw it
pressure on
over.
my shoulder.
Yeah, who's tying the wardrobe up?
It depends. What kind of
Maybe, I mean-
dexterity?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Probably? Who's dexterous?
So make a dexterity check.
I'm dexterous.
So we'll have
All right.
Vitra. I'll like sit with Vitra and like kind of help like guide how it should probably be held.
He wants this thing so bad.
This thing that's gonna
All right.
stay on the boat and never leave
I'll
Captain
sink
Thomas.
The boat.
Yeah, once
for one extra room with a space.
Sleep in this damn magic
19.
room for the rest of the trip.
19. Yeah, you tie a really strong knot. Cool. So you guys got the rope over. You got the knot tied. Last thing you got to do is heave this thing up and swing. So who's pulling or heaving?
So I feel like
On a ship, you
everybody
call
can
it heaving.
heave this thing. Like everyone can kind of grab a bit.
I'll
Yeah.
go
whenever they
heave.
can.
Okay. All right. I need everyone to go ahead and make strength checks. Who's heaving?
Oh, fuck.
16.
I'm doing my job in the air, so I'm probably not helping with this.
Yeah, no, Kree, I think you'll be flying to just like stabilize. But also a 1, not a nat 1. It was a 3 minus 2.
All right. So I have a 1. What else did people roll?
16.
7. Okay.
Am I heaving? Because I thought I was on the. I don't think
I
I,
don't know.
am.
Is it just the 3 of you pulling?
Say it again.
Well, whoever's
Is it
not
just
doing
the 3 of
anything
you?
can grab and pull.
Heaving?
Yeah, we need more than 3 of us.
Yell at
Okay.
some sailors to come over and help. Like, hey.
I will reluctantly help them, even though I don't really care. This is just a strength check.
I got a 16 for
Yep. Strength check.
It's a 15.
Okay. And Vitra, are you also helping?
Well, didn't I have to go over and tie the thing around the? Like, did I?
Right. Yeah. But you can tie it and then go
Okay.
over and help pull. Like you don't. That didn't need to happen like at the same time.
8.
And then Silex, are you pulling?
Yeah, I rolled a 16.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So yeah, you guys pull it up and you get it up, and Kree helps kind of navigate it get across. And as it's swinging, you guys start to feel kind of like in a tug of war game where you start to kind of feel it go, ooh, oh, and your grip starts to slip. Arathian, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
So
Uh,
it's a 13, which is great. That's solid.
Okay.
That's a solid Arathian roll.
And as the pendulum of the wardrobe swings across, the person at the very back, which is Arathian holding on to the rope, it burns his hands and he lets go and he can't hold on any longer, and the wardrobe drops in between the two ships and hits the water and splashes.
Oh well.
I just want to do that high school meme where everyone just turns to look at Arathian and like, really, bro?
I mean, I tried.
This was your idea.
And I did my best. I'm just not the strong one.
At
Sorry.
least you got your hat, and I'm gonna tap him. I'm done with this conversation.
Zinro's like, I'm too old to put up with this shit.
I'm gonna be a little sadder that that's gone. But
With all
Better
that
change your
done,
name.
I think we should all get some
Rathian,
rest.
the wardrobeless. Okay.
I think we should all get some rest.
All right. So
guys. So
you kind of look down. You see like a couple of bubbles of the from the wardrobe as it sings.
did we get we didn't get, I mean, captain's clothes were in there, right? Like that was all that, because I threw all the weapons out.
Nothing left was magical in there.
Yeah.
yeah, there's nothing left in there. I looked.
Okay.
At least anything
Yeah.
magical wise.
But I'm just gonna go sit next to Stuart and just kind of look up at the sky, and I'm gonna take a short rest, I guess.
Well, before you do
What
that,
time is it now?
I'm gonna go to you and probably ask you to take a look at this sword I found.
Oh,
4 a.m.
I will do that after a long rest. I have to get spell slots back.
Okay, cool. Can I look at the scrolls that I found in the navigation and see if I can read what's on them?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You see a map which is showing kind of parts of the Western Sea, and you also see on that same map you see a timeline that starts in the town of Illyria, and it seems to match similar to the timeline of when you guys were there. And it says like destination, and then it shows Athos Beach ?
Okay. And that's it on there. Nothing else.
So,
Yeah,
I
so
wanna-
that's on the map.
Yeah. What about the scrolls?
Yeah, so the other piece of paper, there's like the one map, and then there's a couple of like notes of different things from what the navigator was seeing. First day's travel, was fine. Second day, wind pushed us, blah blah blah. Basic nautical notes. And then the last page was a decree that was signed by what's her name, Lady Amalthea, stating payment upon delivery of the dragon scale for 100,000 gold pieces.
He was gonna give
No.
$5 million or gold worth of dragon scale and give it away for 100,000.
Well, he also got the wardrobe.
All right. I'll show this to Silex in the morning after we've all rested. But for now, I'm gonna go back to my bedroom, the first mate quarters, and
All right.
rest a little bit.
Sounds good. And then Freyr, what were you trying to do?
I wanted to look at I want to go off by myself, and I want to open that little sack and see what was inside.
Yeah. So yeah, you undo the leather strap, and again you feel this weight of this bag, and as you open it up, you kind of get like a kind of an earthy, kind of mulch smell, and what are you doing? Are you just opening it up? Are you reaching in, or are you pouring them out?
Just
What are you
open
doing?
I'm gonna look inside.
Well, it's like pitch black. It's still like nighttime, so it's kind of hard to see because it's like a dark bag on the inside.
Well, wouldn't I have? I'm on the ship, so wouldn't I have a room and like a light in there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you're like in a room, so you notice that they're kind of these brownish, dark green. They look like beans, and there's 3 of them in there. They're just kind of like dense, like
Would I
they
know
look
what
like
these are?
little. You would make a his Arcana check.
20.
20. Yeah. I'll send this over to you.
And then I had another question. I think Arathian said the name of that woman in front of me, and you said that I would know who that is, would that make me
Right.
think anything, or like knowing that she hired the pirates and stuff like that to come get that? Like, what would I be thinking about that?
I mean, you absolutely know who she is. Lady Amalthea is like a huge enemy of your state, essentially. Like she's like the number one person who you guys are always talking about, who's on the brink of war, right? Because she's right there at the. If you look at the map, Athena's like the peninsula that's most jutted into Lake Vostok, and so it's like that's like the centerpiece, right? Like Athena, and then over here is like unknown lands. Over here is unknown lands, and just to the north across the lake is Fintheon. So they're just like, a boat ride away from battle at any time. So yeah, you guys are very familiar with Lady Amalthea and her entire brigade and battalion. Is there like a specific question you were asking, or we just wanted to know if you knew who she was?
Yeah, I just want to know like what my thoughts would be knowing that knowledge of her. But now I know that she's an enemy. And I think that's enough.
Is
Gotcha.
she is she like well known enough that even like maybe we would know too? Like even if we don't live in Crete or the Fintheon dynasty, like should we know who that is?
Yeah, the only folks who wouldn't probably know who that is probably Sage and Rain, since they've been kind of sheltered in the forest. Everyone else who has any type of world travel experience is going to know exactly who that is, right? Like I said, she's kind of like a very territorial figure. And so anytime you hear Crete Empire, most people instantly kind of think of Lady Amalthea as kind of like this warrior princess type person. Anything else? Or are you guys taking a rest?
I'm gonna rest now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go rest.
I will.
Okay.
I will stay up because you said it was like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm gonna stay up till the dawn and then give them the burials at the morning's first light, more or less. And I just say there's only a few hours left before the sun comes up, and that's when I do most of my burials. If you want to stay awake, otherwise I will join you some hours afterwards and take a rest myself.
I'm sitting next to Stuart right now, so
Beside Stuart's body is the body of the other guy, by the way.
then I'll be on the other side. And
The captain?
The captain that I went downstairs and I wanted to gather his body while they were getting the wardrobe together. And I put him next to Stuart's.
Okay. All right. Anything else you guys are doing while you're awake, or is everyone going to bed?
I guess I'll spend the long rest trying to identify whatever this hat is. Like
Yeah.
thinking about it, put
Yeah.
some thought into it, how much I love it.
Okay. Make a Arcana check for me.
Cool. Nope.
No?
No.
Just no.
It's just no.
So yeah, at the moment you definitely know it has magical principles, but you need to spend a little bit more time with it to really understand what it does.
Oh, I'll spend some time with it.
When we
Okay.
rest, when we rest, I want to make sure that I'm still kind of keeping, because I only have to meditate for 4 hours. I want to make sure that I'm keeping an eye on Vitra, since prior to all of this happening, we just spent all this time talking about how she's possessed. So I'm just gonna keep a nice eye on her tonight to make sure everything's okay.
Have I been too quiet for
Fair
your
enough.
liking?
You've
Sage?
been a little quiet, and there's been a lot going on, and I don't want to forget what's been happening.
Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna kind of get your rest in and then spend some time at Vitra side. Perfect. Okay. Well, then at this moment, let's take like a 5-minute break real quick because I have to use the restroom. And then whenever we come back, we will get back at it. Okay. Sound good? Okay. Okay. Bye. I'm back. Oh, the Veneta household got spooky.
Whenever we get back, I literally wrote a prayer for the souls to be.
Awesome. Awesome.
We're ready to go. Tristan's feeding the baby, so we're good to go if you
Okay.
want.
Cool. Yeah. Well, let's get back to it. Okay, so yeah, we get back and the morning takes you guys. The light, the sunrise kind of comes over the ocean, and the morning sun welcomes everybody after such a stressful night. And those of you who get your full 8 hours, awesome. We'll meet with you here in a moment, but for now, Zinro is going to say a prayer for those that have died.
If anybody is up early enough to see it, I grab the coin that I have, and it's a platinum coin off my wrist, and it looks like it's got like tarnishing on both sides, so it kind of has like this multicolored kind of purplish thing to it. And I take the Luna side upwards and I draw a circle around on their forehead, each one of them, and then do like a crescent moon sign. And I flip it over to the other side and do the rays of the sun outward on their forehead, just as a marking. Nothing's actually there, but for each body that we throw overboard, I say this prayer. Dawn, Father, bless these bodies that they have died underneath Luna's light. Seek out their soul so that it may shine bright. With our faith, they seek you to find their homes, eternal true. Through your light's rays, lead them on as we praise this morning's dawn. And I let them both go into the water and sink. As this isn't the first time I've done a sailor's prayer, or more or less, to the ocean.
As the bodies hit the water, similarly to the wardrobe last night, you just see the ocean water consume them, and they fall down to a point where the light no longer can see their bodies reflecting back at you.
Is Silex around while that's happening?
Yeah, I was watching the entire time.
I just want to give you a stern look as we let go of the second body. You kind of get the idea that I wasn't too pleased with the circumstances, but understandable, if that makes any sense. And then I will go for my long rest because I stayed up the whole day.
So he sleeps until 3 p.m.
Before as he's walking away, I'll just kind of say, when my time comes, I'll accept my actions, but that needed to be done, and then I'll walk away as well.
I'll give you a nod.
All right, so morning comes. Repairs need to be made to the ship. There's lots to do. Zinro goes back to bed. What's that?
I said I'll get busy mending, and I want to talk to Freyr when I get the chance.
Do you not need to take a long rest, Silas?
I took a short rest, but mending is a cantrip, so I still have spell slots left. So I'll take a point of exhaustion if you want me to, but I'm not. I'll take it in a minute.
Gotcha. Okay. So there's a period of time, shortly after dawn where most people are still sleeping. To get their full 8 hours, they'll have to sleep, a few hours into the sun being risen. Zinro, after putting the bodies to rest, goes to take his rest for the evening or morning. So Silex, you're the only one awake and rummaging around, mending things, fixing things.
I want to pay super close detail to where Stuart died.
It's all on that lower deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on that lower deck. You see. Actually, roll a perception check for me.
That would be a 14.
Okay.
Hold on, I
So
didn't add
you don't
18,
see.
sorry. 14 plus 8. 14 plus
Okay,
4.
gotcha. So you actually catch you catch out of the corner of your eye as you're down on that second deck, because the ships are really close together, so it's kind of like instead of being able to see out into the ocean, like you would think you would with a hole busted into the side of the ship, you just see like a bunch of wood from the other ship, and you see that it's hard to tell if you're coasting away or if the pirate ship is the one that's kind of sailing away. But it looks like there's becoming separation between you and the other ship.
Is it like turning, or is it just space being generated between the two ships?
Just space being generated.
Can I look up? Was the ropes we tied and like the board still there, or have those been put up as well?
Those are gone.
Can I see anybody on the ship, on the pirate ship, or is there from here?
Right now you're on the bottom deck, so you can't really see anything. You just see like the hull of the ship.
I'll walk fast paced to the top and see if I can see anybody on the other pirate ship.
Yeah, when you get up to the top, you see where the main sail had been busted by the cannon before. It looks like a second kind of mast has been generated and is lifted up, and you see a new black sail unfolded before you, and you see the ship slowly starting to turn away.
Black Pearl.
So, I know where Bradbury and them sleep, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sprint. I mean, as quick as I can, and see if they're still there.
You open up the door, and their rooms are empty.
I fucking knew it.
I'm gonna check on Captain Thomas.
They probably took that dragon scale.
Probably waking up everybody.
Oh shit.
My
When
dragon
you
scale's on me. So.
To be fair, they now know that you're demon possessed.
I can't really fault them. They're
Sorry.
just like making their own way out of here.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is Captain Thomas and Grew? Okay.
So Captain Thomas has his own quarters.
Yeah.
Gummin doesn't have quarters. He just sleeps in the barracks.
Is Captain Thomas okay? I'm gonna check on him.
Yeah, his quarters seem to be locked. You can knock and try to get his attention.
Yeah, let me wake him up. If that wakes everyone else
There's
up,
no
that's
response.
fine too.
There's no response to the door.
Fuck.
I mean,
Break
he
it down.
Could just be sleeping.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where's Gummin?
Gummin is currently sleeping in the barracks, like actually where you are. He's probably
wake his
rummaged
ass
up
up.
at this point. What's going on?
I think Bradbury and
Is
then
it
just took
morning
the pirate
already?
ship and left us, which I mean, in reality is not that bad. That's fine. But Captain Thomas is not answering. So either you have a key for his door or I blow it off its hinges. So
I don't have a key. I don't have a key for his door. I'm sorry. I don't have a key.
oh well, all right then. So I'm gonna keep pounding on the door. I'm gonna start waking everybody up. Get the fuck up.
So you guys all awake to Silex vigorously banging on this door and yelling. What do y'all do?
Man the cannons.
Are they
I
just
mean-
are they just running, or like they're just turning away? They're leaving.
They're
don't
sailing
know.
away as far as I
At this point, you just woke up.
If you want to go watch them, I gotta check on Captain Thomas first before I
I was
find
going to
out.
say, I guess I'm just going to go over to where the banging's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on the ship and make sure that they're not, coming about to use cannons on us. Because honestly, we know a lot.
They
I'm a
don't
little
have
worried.
cannons.
They don't
We-
have any
Yeah,
cannons.
we we took care of that.
Do you want me to roll a strength check for starting trying to bang this door down?
Yeah. Yeah. While you're doing that, Sage, you notice that the ship does not seem to be turning about. It seems to just be sailing south
That's a 12.
at a pretty decent speed. A 12 will not budge the door.
They
Have I got the
totally
long-
killed Stu. They fucking killed Stu.
Yeah, he acted like he didn't get there on time. He's like, oh, I just missed him. Fuck off.
What are y'all doing?
Is it like well, over here I know there's swords. Why don't you just pry it apart instead of trying to beat it down? I'll say that. It's like standing there, just like, why don't you just like
Sure. Can I like tinker with the door and try and engineer it off or whatever?
Why don't you shatter it, Arathian?
Last time I did that, you all yelled at me, so we're not gonna do it this time.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, you can finagle with it. I mean, if you a strength check would have been instant, but if you want to try to mess with it, I'll say it takes you like 5 minutes or so of like
Yeah, no, I don't
getting the right angle.
I don't have time to do that. I need to get that ship. How far away? I don't know how far. I'm not seeing that. Let me try one more strength check on the door, and if not, then I'm gonna go up top and start trying to go after that ship.
Okay. Go for it.
19 on that one.
Yeah, you bust through the door. And as you bust through the door, you see Captain Thompson in his bed, lying still.
Is he breathing?
You can go and check.
Do I
Give me a
have a
medicine
job?
check.
Yeah, sure. That would be 18.
You do not detect a pulse.
Does he have stab wounds in him?
No, it looks from the way that the pillow seems to be rumpled, it looks like he was suffocated in his bed.
Is his body cold?
It seems to be a few hours dead. Based on, I mean, you rolled like a 19, so or an 18 on the medicine. So yeah, I mean, he's passed for a few hours, but not cold. I mean, it'll take days for it to fully go.
All right, I'm waking everyone up. Battle stations, get the shit ready, get the shit moving,
Yes.
and turning the ship around and following them. How far? Because I'm going to get up to the deck pretty quickly. How far away is that ship?
So actually, who's the navigator?
Mitra.
Vitra. You notice right away that it seems to be moving at a surprising pace, like an unnatural pace. And at this distance, it seems to already have traveled about 150 or 200 feet, which would typically take a little bit longer. You know that your ship can move about, where is it? 45 feet. Yeah, you can fly 40 or fly. You can sail 45 feet per turn, essentially like your movement speed. And it seems like they might be moving somewhere closer to 60. That new sail.
Something. So I assume that I'm going to talk to Sai, assuming that he can hear me. Something is different with this new sail that they have on. They're moving way faster than we can.
Well, we just got to get a little bit closer.
I don't want to be like to squash the revenge plot here, but you gotta remember Bradbury is way out of our power league, just himself. And we're down what, half of our crew at this point. And I mean, if there's new sails, maybe new cannons.
You guys also did not get a full long rest.
Yeah, we're all half-assed here.
You were woken up by Silex.
Well, at least we know where he's going. Is that correct? Do we assume he's still going to Athos?
He has to be, right? Like, where else would he go?
I would assume so.
Considering he stole this from Vention, I guess we can assume he's not going back to Vention.
Right. Well, okay, so second question. Did he hear when we talked about who sent the pirates at us? Was he there for that conversation, or was he elsewhere?
No.
No, he wasn't down
so
there.
He
for
doesn't
that.
even know who's.
You guys were like in a closed room.
He doesn't even know who's after him at this point.
Well, let me rephrase that. You don't know if he heard, but you don't think.
So
he
Even,
did.
even
I'll
if he
keep it that
didn't
way.
hear, that doesn't mean that he doesn't know who this is. It doesn't mean that there's no connection.
I mean, yeah, he might know, but at this point, us following can lead to some pretty disastrous consequences for ourselves.
No,
He was up on the deck last night. Whenever Captain Thompson came up and made the accusation. He was also there whenever Kree told you guys about what he found and described the scrolls, which did have the name of Lady Amalthea on the decree and the payment. So even if he wasn't down there to hear it, he still knows about it because he was up there during like kind of the big group meeting.
Right. But at this point, I'm just like gonna put it out there that he's obviously desperate. We have one captain who, doesn't have a lot of sailing experience. I think we take our time. We go slower with it. We don't rush into a revenge plot already. As much as I want to go killing people, don't get me wrong, we're at the end all about that
so
shit.
while we're having this conversation, I want to go grab a cannonball. It's like, how heavy is a cannonball? Like 20 pounds?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 15, 20 pounds.
How far away is the ship? It's like 100. You said like 150 feet. I get it's not catchable.
Yeah.
I have one spell slot left, and so I'm going to cast Catapult on it. And since I have Spell Sniper, it can go 180 feet instead of 90.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to launch this cannonball, and then be like, you know what? We'll get them later. This is just my little last fuck you, and we'll just keep sailing away.
Make an attack roll. Make a ranged attack roll.
While he's doing that, I may ask anybody else in the group here. Did we happen to get the name of the ship that he was on? The name of the pirate ship that was attacking us.
Got it.
So we have no idea what the ship name is. So when we come to Athos, we don't know who to look for.
Is it on any of the scroll paper?
Or the name of the captain.
Not worried about that part.
That too.
17 to hit. Okay.
Yeah, that hits.
Now they know we know.
It's like 3d8 damage. I don't expect it to do anything. It's just a fuck you.
Yeah. You guys can kind of see through your little like binocular. Or it's not a binocular.
Telescope.
What is that called when it's just the one?
Telescope.
Telescope. Yeah, telescope. Yeah, you can kind of see You see Bradbury kind of look back after it hits the ship, and he just kind of tips his hat back in your direction.
Fucking hate him.
I mean, I'm not gonna be. We kind of put him in a bad spot.
We kind of put him in a bad spot, but he also killed 2 of our crew. That's the part I'm upset about.
Yeah. Fuck off, Arathi.
Well, unfortunately, I will say we don't know that for sure, Sage. But he was very eager to keep one of two things. Either schedule on course when we talked about seeking aid for Vitra, which he was not very fond of, because it would delve farther into the time that it would take for him to get where he's going. But he now has his own ship, which may be beneficial to him to do so. Now he didn't fire upon us because he had no cannons, but I don't know if, based on their ship and my ship and my knowledge of sailing, do I feel like we could outrun them, or does it seem like they would have an advantage?
So, on the surface, you think that at some point they would have to stop and make repairs because their hull was damaged, but it seems like it's still able to. You don't know when or how bad. You guys didn't really assess their ship very much. You were really focused on the wardrobe, so you don't know how far or like how badly damaged it was. You just know that yeah, there's definitely some cannons that hit it, but at this moment, you don't know, right? You don't know if it's magical means or how, but they're definitely moving faster in that moment.
And the total amount of people that they had on on this ship that was their party was 3, right? Morgan.
No.
No. Morgan's his sister.
Bradbury,
So it's Bradbury, Amelia, and Eric.
Did Morgan go with
Eric
him?
had his tongue taken out. No. Morgan's she's here, but she's not really going to get a ton of conversational points. Just
sister,
right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you only have 3 people to sail a ship. That's hardly enough to man a crew of a vessel, no matter how sizable or how small it is.
I mean, true, and we could follow, in the same day. I mean, we know where they're going. It's not like it's a secret, but I think we should take stock because I mean, how many of us are still alive, like, and willing to continue? Because I mean, hell, we lost a captain and a first mate now, so.
Yeah.
Plus, we still have to worry about Vitra.
I think Rathian has a point. I think the best option is to make our way to Athos Beach and either fuck over their plan and just watch the demise fall, or we take them ourselves, or we move on. Not everyone is always going to get their revenge.
So
That's
at
part of
this
life.
point, the second question is: Do we subvert and go take care of Vitra's problem first? Now that our deadline is over,
All we would need is a messenger to get someone to the Crete Empire to fuck over their plan. So
someone can talk to
we
plants.
could stop at Jorvik, but I do think there's
I
a
can
point
talk
of.
to animals. So I have those spells. We can do something.
I do think stopping in Jorvik. I mean, if knowledgeable about their culture, I doubt a high priest of any holy sect will be in Jorvik, other than more shamanistic, druidic purposes. So
I mean,
I
I'm
do
all
understand
about that holistic medicine. So
I can tell you right now, Jorvik is not going to be the best place to find somebody who can expel demons in the traditional sense. Or the
So-
fiends, of that matter.
so the play is continue onward to Athos.
and,
I mean, I'm totally against the revenge plot. I don't want to lose another party. So if we could
I
stick
think making our
on,
way to Athos and getting Vitra her help, and then fucking over Bradbury would be our best option.
Is Athos the closest large city that would be able to help Vitra? Or is there anything
Yeah,
else?
there's
along the
nothing
way?
else along that coast.
There are the tribes in the Deadlands,
That's
but none of you have had any experience with that, so you wouldn't know their abilities. Some of you, well, mainly just Zinro, has had experience in Jorvik, like he's lived there. So he knows about that. No one really knows about the Deadland tribes.
So I'll leave this up to a vote because I'm maybe co-captain, but I'm not Captain Thompson. So making
You
our
are
way to
now.
Athos still would be probably the best option.
Agreed.
Gummin's gonna kind of stand up and say, but I mean, it is my last. I am the last of the original crew. Honest, feels like this contract has kind of failed, so wouldn't be too against finding a nice warm bed and hot meal off this forsaken boat.
No, I completely understand.
What's the distance? So I know we're a month out one way. How long would it take us to get to Athos? Is it faster to go to
About
Athos?
3 months.
So it'd be faster to turn around and go back.
If that's the plan.
Like to get to land, the fastest land portion would be
To get
turn
to,
around and-
yeah, I mean, Jorvik would be the best place to go from where you guys are. That's only probably a week away, if that. Like maybe 5 days travel. To get all the way to Athos Beach, yeah, that would take, months. You guys were kind of at the starting leg of your journey.
We have to worry about Vitra. Now we have Gummin, who's, I'm sure not doing too well.
I mean, don't worry about me. I'll do whatever's best interest of the crew. It seems like the whole reason we were going was for this other mission, and it seems like that mission has gone quite literally sideways. So if it means that we're stopping, I don't think I'd be too upset. But if we need to continue, I'm the last of the Rosabella crew, and I'll do my best to bring whatever honor badge I can earn from that.
Well, and it was just last night that we were saying that we didn't need to stop for me.
Yeah,
So-
but that was whenever there was
Literally,
a
that was
deadline.
last night.
But there's no deadline anymore. So now we can focus on that. We don't have someone breathing down our necks here. So
But it's still the same.
Except for Vitra.
Yeah,
boom.
it's still the same situation though. Like there's still nowhere near that can help. So it's like, okay, do we want a month to go back to Fendelwind, or 3 to go and kill 2 birds with 1 stone?
But we won't kill a second bird.
As long as
Bradbury's scary.
I think just pushing
He's
through
not
to
that scary.
Athos will be the best option. It takes longer, sure, but if we have
So
a smooth ride, we have a smooth ride.
I mean, I know I'm not welcome back in Findlewind at this point.
We might as well keep going.
So
I think any of you guys are welcome back in Findlewind at this point.
Yeah, Arathian, I think you ruined any chance of us getting to turn around.
I don't know. Someone saw
Gummin-
my face. We were all running.
So Gummin's gonna kind of scope out the room, look at everybody, and then take a look over at Silex. And after the kind of everyone calms down and stops speaking, there's a moment of silence, and then Gummin goes, "So, what's the call, Captain?"
let's make our way to Athos. Let's get the sail up and going. Let's get moving. I'm gonna go take care of Captain Thompson. When Zinro gets up, I'll have him do the same.
Okay. So now everyone can complete their long rest if they want to. And if we're pushing through, we'll say that obviously we're not going to go day by day here. So let's have some downtime to, we'll say another 4 weeks go by. So if there's anything specific you guys want to do, we'll say that Arathian, we'll say that eventually after 4 weeks you figure out what's up with this hat. It is a hat of disguise. Hat of Disguise Self. So anytime you're wearing this hat, you can use your action to cast Disguise Self at will. The spell ends if the hat is removed.
Kinky.
Okay.
Yes.
Do all of his
Very much so.
disguises have to wear the same hat?
No, once you cast Disguise Self, you can kind of change what you're wearing.
Okay.
But that would be awesome. I mean, you can add whatever flavor you want, right? Like you can change all of your armor and everything except for the hat. I don't care. Who else had magical items that you guys found? Oh,
I'm gonna identify
the
the Kree's sword, and then if Freyr lets
Yeah.
me, I want to look at his spear.
Yeah.
okay, so the sword. Sword is pretty dope. I'm actually gonna send you these stats. 1 second, over Facebook, so you can just have them. My favorite items of the whole thing is this sword. Hold on. I'll just send it as like in the group text. I don't care if everybody sees it, but this is the sword. So the sword gets you a +2 bonus to attack and damage. And then you have a D8 here. 5 + 1, 6 charges. So if you score a crit with this sword, whoever you're rolling against has to make a DC 15 Constitution save, or they're dead. And then you use obviously 1 charge every time. But after 4 weeks, you start to really, kind of weigh the balance of it, understand kind of the motions, and you're practicing on kind of some of the dummies that are set up for training, and you're doing typical spars and slashes, and then you just happen to come around and swing down harder with perfect precision, and on that hit, you see the bag that you were slicing into just evaporates into necrotic dust and falls down, and you look at it and you think, oh shit. And you're now attuned to the sword of the 9 live stealer. All right, what else was there?
Who has that sword currently?
Kree, our
Kree?
fighter.
All right.
And then I wanted to take a look at Freyr's spear.
I think that's in good hands. The spear. That's right. Also kind of cool. So this is essentially a javelin of lightning. You can look that up in the just typical D&D Beyond. But cool thing about this one that made me want to put this in the game is that one, it carries the lightning characteristic of the dragon scale that you were able to work on and kind of figure out, but haven't realized how to unlock it. But when you throw this javelin, anything in the direction, like as it's being thrown in a like a 5-foot line, takes 46 lightning damage, and then upon impact, it takes regular javelin damage, and then it takes another 46 lightning upon impact of the creature. So anything in a line plus the impact also takes the 46. So it's pretty dope.
So just make sure you always go get it.
And then, right, yeah, you'll have to get it back. It can be used again. Sorry, it can only be used once per day, but you can use it multiple times. So who has that again?
I have that.
Prayer? Okay. You guys can just kind of like copy and paste that into your own stuff if you want to, whoever has that. And then I think that was it, right?
Oh, the carpet. I want to identify the carpet.
Oh, I think you guys know what that is. I think you guys have figured out what that is. That is a flying carpet. That particular carpet can be used. Anyone can use an action to make it hover or fly. Just for fun, it does have a spoken command, and so I'd like for you guys to pick a word that you'd like to use for it to fly. And I'm not going to allow you to say fly because that's boring. So I want you to come up with some sort of word that you want to use to use the magic carpet. Yip yip.
Yip,
All right,
yip.
all right, so yeah, actually that's great. Yeah, you can say yip yip.
I was gonna go with the Bullwinkle. Bristol.
Yeah, so it does exactly what you think. That one can hold up to 400 pounds at a flying speed of 60 feet. So if anyone's taking notes, I think Mandy always takes notes. So it can hold 400 pounds at 60 feet. It can hold double that. Oh, there we go. It can hold double that at half speed. So if you need to carry 800 pounds, it can at 30 feet.
What you're telling me is it
Of
can hold a
movement.
magical wardrobe that made its way off of one boat into another boat. That's all I'm saying. Very upset
I'm
here.
saying it could have done it extremely easily.
Awesome.
I'm saying that's probably how they got it on there, which is why it was probably on the floor when y'all arrived.
One more time on the size of the carpet.
4
4
by
by
6.
6.
And other than that, I'm other than navigating and doing captainly stuff, I'm working on
Cool.
getting the fly enchantment down off the ring so that I can learn how to engrave that.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, perfect. Anyone else need to do anything as far as downtime goes? Good. Okay, cool. Vitra, I need you. Oh, what's up, Zenro?
Oh, I was just gonna say I spend my nights because Vitra mentioned, well, maybe the last session, if we recall, Vitra mentioned me sleeping in the same room that she was in, just for the sake of, possession and all that. And so I do that. I just want to say that I do that, and I spend time, watching over her for a few hours before she goes to sleep every night, and then trying to wake up early in the morning, still enjoying a long rest, but also trying to keep aware of, these goosebumpy feelings. Hopefully she tells me about these certain things she feels, and I can kind of keep an eye out for those specific things.
Yeah, I will say from time to time, it's not every night and it's not for long periods of time, but from time to time you do notice an unnatural quiet and stillness within the room that you haven't been able to really put your finger on. You don't see anything. It doesn't seem crazy out of the normal, but the room does become timeless for, well, you don't know how long sometimes.
Brief moments here and there.
Yeah. Speaking of Vitra, go ahead and roll 4 d20s for me.
You want me to give them all to you at once or one by one?
1 by 1.
6.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
And a 1. Oh no.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d6.
6.
Go ahead and take 6 off of your total max hit points
Okay.
as you feel a piece of your life force, your life essence, drain.
No, he said drain, not rain.
Sorry.
Oh.
I would
Hello?
I would like to on one of these evenings when we go to rest. I'm gonna hold the coin that I've used in my hand multiple times, and sitting across from you, Vitra. I'm just gonna have a brief moment and kind of look towards you, as we're maybe sitting in bed before we go to sleep one of these nights. You mentioned a while back when you first came out of that dimension. You had spent some time there. You said maybe something along the lines of 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm curious, in the realms that you were in, how did you survive such a thing? Did you hunt? Did you gather for food? What was it that sustained you through all those times that you were there?
Would I have hunted? Because there was no one else. It was just
No.
me, wasn't it?
No. No, so you didn't ever feel tired or well, you felt tired. You never felt the need
But
to.
I didn't like sleep, didn't eat. Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, it was different than this dimension. In this dimension, I need to eat. I need to sleep. You know, if I have to hunt, I will. In that dimension, there was nothing like that. No other people, no need for sustenance, no need for rest, though I felt exhausted the whole time.
You didn't find a single soul amongst any of the lands or ruins you came across?
Not a one. The only other voice that I could hear besides my own, if I spoke aloud, was his. The voice that I often hear.
I give a deep sigh because I'm not entirely sure what this entails. I just spent some time looking at my coin, back and forth, and exchange some small chit chat. However, you want to play it, there, Vitra, if one way or the other. So, I've already made a check to determine. I guess this would go to the shade. I've already made a check to determine if I know what this realm is. Would you allow me to check again through time if I understand? You know, she didn't have to survive in this particular realm. This delved on her, relationships. If I would know who that is.
I think
I'd say that you could make additional checks if you come across additional texts or if you learn or you find a library or something. But you rolled, if I remember right, you rolled like an 18, or you rolled really well when you rolled last time to figure out. So to your knowledge, you have a pretty good understanding of the fiendish demon that has possession over her, but you don't know
I,
why or how.
like his name. I remember like you saying his name or someone saying his name. I don't think Vitra knows who that is because I don't think he said his name to her. I imagine. Okay.
yeah,
And
I do recall a name at some point in time. I'm looking it up, but yeah,
It's
that's about all I
Mezpak.
had. Yeah, that's
That's
about
cool.
all I had. Mezgul, yeah.
And just to help better illustrate, so whenever you were rolling for those, right, essentially, um, the one that you rolled and lost life energy, um, it almost always comes to you in the dead of night. So you were essentially laying peacefully in bed, and the hand that you were holding on to the gem that still has that burn mark essentially started to burn so hot that it was like searing, and that's kind of the pain that you were feeling as you lost, metagame 6 hit points, that cannot be regained. Well, you know what it is. But yeah, so that's your first month. You guys have 2 more months. 2 more months. 2 more months to get to Athos Beach. Just to kind of fast forward, I can essentially, do downtime for another 2 months, or do you guys want to take it a month at a time?
I'm good with downtime for 2 months.
Okay, cool. So next month goes by.
If you don't mind, I have one other question.
Yeah, go ahead.
During any point in time in this downtime, other than asking Vitra about how she survived and all that stuff, and trying to think about who it was, at some point in time, I wanted to ask, find Freyr wherever he may be.
Okay.
Where might you be, Freyr, if I'm about the ship?
I'm probably at the nose of the ship, drinking some wine and watching the ocean.
Yes, a flagon of wine.
I'm gonna walk up to you and respectfully be like, excuse me, Lord Freya. I apologize for inconveniencing you at this moment. May I request a few words of your time?
Of course, Zinro.
No, you really.
I like it.
Blessings be upon you and your house of soul. Um, couldn't help but notice, if it may not be too overbearing for my current position, you were of the small council, is that correct? Some sort of relationship to individuals of Fentheon to some degree?
Yes, I'm on the small council.
Oh, I hope it doesn't embark too much on the personal. I'm curious about an individual who I once knew, a friend of mine. Um, would you happen to know as to the how do I put this? The well-being of an individual by the name of Lord Eberron. Does he still bid well in Fentheon?
Shade, would I know that?
Check your Facebook messages. I sent you backstory on that.
Oh. Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I want to say during downtime, I'll probably talk to Sage and wonder if we can trust anybody yet to tell them who I.
You guys are probably like, this was a mistake.
Well, because like I'm a half elf and I still wear my ears, so I was just wondering if she feels like we can trust, like open up or anything like that.
I mean, I opened up that I'm possessed, so I mean, I think you're safe.
I'm also a half elf, so like,
yeah, if it makes you feel any better, I do not take any shame in the half elf.
I don't know that I'm a half elf. I have ears on.
For months, they smell like ass.
I'm just saying, if it makes you feel better.
They're actually stuck on there because it's all wax,
Yeah,
you know.
just wax stuck on. They don't come off now. I graduated to a full elf.
Okay.
Yes, Zinro. I know Grand Maester, Master Ebron.
Is it Maester or Master?
I think it's Master. Yeah, Master.
Ah, that's good. Glad to see he's had certain success in life. Anyways, I'm glad to hear that. An old friend of mine. I should probably check into him next time I'm in Fentheon. But anyways, I'm sorry to disturb you. I was curious.
How do you know him?
Sorry, say that again.
How do you know him?
A while back, he just merely wanted to preside over some of his one of two things. He had crops that he was dealing with, and I praised him in Soul's Light for very such a thing. And the other thing was a dinner he had where I blessed his family. More to say, I blessed him and his dynasty, as much as I could, and I bid him, as much as I could, good tidings.
Yeah, he's very close to my mentor Balin in Fentheon. I know him quite well.
I'm not too familiar with Balin. Is that like an overseer of Eberron's estate or something?
No, they're good friends. He used to serve on the small council as well.
Ah, I see. And Eberron and Balin are on a higher council than yourself. Is that what you're saying?
Perhaps, but maybe sometime you'll have to come meet Balin in the capital.
Aha, I wouldn't think that a half-blood as myself would ever be so privileged as to meet Balin and Eberron in the light of yours grace, to be honest. And I'm going to bow down before you, being the elder half-elf that I am. But
I think you'll see Balin and myself, we're a little more progressive than the others. We don't look down on half-elves as much.
Interesting. I'm glad to hear such a thing. Do I believe him?
Side check.
It's like an 8.
Paul,
Well, it's an 8.
an 8. Yeah, I mean, looks like he could be being honest with you. You've noticed that Freyr is a little bit more reserved with conversations, so it's kind of hard to tell. He's not an open book.
Anyway, I grovel a little bit and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry too much. I just noticed that you seem to have taken a step forward into the world. If I do say so myself, you've gotten rid of the robes that I've seen some of the council have. Are you trying to? May I ask what exactly you're doing? It seems like a position that you are currently in seems quite beneficial for somebody of your current stature.
I'm out to see the world right now, and I don't want to be recognized as much. So I'd like to just pass unnoticed. So that's why I gave up my robes.
Ah, I see. Well, may I be the first to say that when you arrive in Athos, even though it's part of the Finthian dynasty, I assure you it's quite its own kind of little city. I hope you can learn such things as somebody who's maybe not gone out of the city is to learn there. But I digress. I apologize. Again, once more, thank you for letting me have a few words with you, Lord Freyr.
Freyr is kind of liking Zenro. He thinks he's a good guy. He's been, I've seen you on the ship and everything. So I'm going to offer you some wine. And because you're being like really respectful and everything. And I'm like trying to give off the impression that you don't have to be, you can be a little more cool. So I'm going to give you some wine. And
Yeah, you get the sense I'm probably a little bit more old school than most of the individuals I guess you'd come across, but thank you, and I take it, and it's quite a sight, the ocean. I've I've been on it a few times. I've seen a fair amount of time at sea, and it can certainly add some years to your soft skin, the salt that being.
indeed.
It'll look good on you, sir. Trust me in that.
I do feel obligated to point out, Zinro, that Freyr is actually about 325 years old. So I think he's by far the oldest of the group.
I'm
because I noticed you made like a bunch of like references of like how young he is, and like and I'm like, well, he is because he's still an elf, but
it's all part of the act.
Just wanted to let that be known. But awesome, yeah. So you guys kind of get to share a little bit about people that you know. Sage and Rain, did you guys want to converse about anything? Did you want to talk to her about the ears or?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to her about I think my ears.
What do you
Go
want
ahead.
to say?
Okay, so I don't know where we're at. Are you in the room? Like I go find you. I don't know where you're at.
Mhm. I'm probably either up on the top deck doing my yoga, or I'm hanging out below deck. So
Okay.
let's say I'm on the top deck.
Perfect. Okay, so I go to you and I talk to you and I say, hey, Sage, do you think it's comfortable enough now for me to take my ears off? Do you think people are going to judge me? Do you think it's safe?
I mean, we've got several half elves with us. I think it would be safe. I don't think we should probably tell Dad or Father that we're being a little bit more comfortable. So maybe we keep that here. But I don't see a problem with it. I think the only one that I'm a little still worried about is Freyr. We don't know him that well. He's kind of quiet. He does his own thing. but he's from the capital, and that makes me nervous. So I think as long as we just keep an eye and we see how he's reacting, I think everybody else is going to be fine.
Okay. No more ears.
All right. So Rain takes off her ears.
No more bags.
Awesome. Okay, so 4 more, or we'll say 8 weeks go by. We'll say after about 6 weeks. Well, first, Vitra, roll 60-20 for me.
All right, I have 60-20 on my thing, so I'm just gonna roll all 6 and see how it goes.
All right. Fingers crossed.
Good question here, Shade. In the aspect of her rolling, do I notice, because I spend every night sleeping next to her, do I notice that she is looking less than herself after a while?
It's only been one night that she's felt that pain. So far, no, but that we'll see what happens. What did you roll, Vitra?
I think I did pretty good.
Okay.
I got a 12,
Okay.
a 4, 11, 7,
Okay.
12, and 17.
Perfect. You're good. So restful sleep, no issues. We'll say you guys are about 2 weeks, from what you can estimate, about 2 weeks from Athos Beach. So you guys have been traveling now for over 3 months together. And Silex, roll a perception check for me.
12.
You're still sleeping, right? It's the middle of the night. The moon is bright. And you're woken up by a soft, but it sounds like a shriek that has been muffled. And you wake up and you look over at the bed next to you and you see your sister Morgan struggling for her life with a shadowed figure above her. And then as soon as you wake, the figure goes away and you see that there's a stab wound or a slash wound across Vitra's arm and shoulder. And she's
Morgan's
in a full
arm
panic.
and shoulder.
Morgan or Vitra?
Morgan.
Oh, you said Vitra has a slash wound.
Oh, sorry. Morgan. This is in your room. This is in Captain's quarters where Morgan's staying.
Okay. She has a slash wound down her arm? Okay, well, I'm going to cure wounds that. Make sure she's okay and breathing.
It cures, and you see that the wound that heals back up has a jagged and ripped appearance, much like that you saw on Stuart's body.
So do I see any? I mean, does my room have any lanterns in it, or is it like pitch black?
It's pitch black right now.
I'm gonna yell for Zinro as loud as I can.
Coming. So yeah, Zinro, you're woken up by Silex in a panic, and after so many months of calm travel, it kind of is. You just fall right back into it being a rudimentary thing to wake up and panic, and you're alert and ready to go. You hear him, and
as the ship's surgeon, I'm very much aware of the idea of waking up randomly.
As you wake up and run out of the room towards Captain Silex's quarters, Vitra, you are in sleep paralysis, completely eyes glazed over. Your eyes are like completely whited, and you can feel the presence of that being that has been a pester in your side, to say the least. You feel the bed around you kind of crimp in as the weight of this being kind of leans in, and then right as you're because you're staring outward, you can feel like the face of the being, but you can't turn your head to look, and you feel that breath again that you once felt on your neck, and you almost hear and feel a and then he vanishes.
Whoa.
And you're back up, and you wake up, and you're fully alert. Zinro, you make your way to Captain Silex's quarters, and
What is
Morgan,
Silex?
Morgan's still
I'm in like
crying.
full armor, spear out. How do I explain it?
Holding my coin in my hand, and I'm gonna walk to the door. What?
Shadow Warrior somewhere on the boat. Little figure disappeared in the mist. Evil, I'm gonna assume. And then I'm just gonna try and get some light in my room by lighting things. So I have some lanterns.
Do I see that she's currently wounded, Morgan?
She's been healed, but she was wounded. I mean, you'll see. I'm sure she's like holding her shoulder in pain still, just because cure wounds doesn't mean.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Detect Good and Evil, knowing that we're already being followed by some sort of fiend at some degree. I'm gonna cast it in here. So I got I know if a aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, undead, or whatever within 30 feet of me, like that.
You detect 2 back in your room.
I can see them like through the deck and into the, or not the deck, but
it depends on your flavor of how you see Detect Good and Evil. I'd assume that it would not matter. It's kind of like X-ray vision, right? For 30 feet, you can kind of tell. You can detect the outline figurine of like Vitra laying there, and then you just, I mean, for the time like difference, like you're detecting right at the moment that I was just describing, where it's like leaning in, going like kind of sniffing at her, and then right as you kind of look over at it, you see one of the beings just evaporate, and there's just Vitra laying there.
So where's the second one? Is the second one in Vitra?
The second one is, I would assume the second one is Vitra because she was still detected before. I'm just gonna say that Silex is like, your sister was a distraction. Your sister was a distraction. I'm gonna run down to Vitra and see if she's okay.
I would assume that I probably, like, when I woke up or when I was able to like move again, I would scream out probably for Zenro, noticing that he wasn't in the room.
Just back and forth. Yeah. So
you get being the cleric.
I had to be a cleric.
I put a demon in here just for you. So yeah, you hear the distressed, call of Vitra. Vitra the still possessed.
Is she still lying there, just like by herself?
Yeah, she's by herself now.
I'm gonna kill Detect Good and Evil and cast Protection from Evil and Good, so you're immune to fear, charm, possession, and whoever attacks you that's a fiend has disadvantage on attacks, just to try to clear the air of it and see what that does.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she's laying down. I mean, probably a bit out of breath, a little panicked. But yeah, she seems kind of all together. She seems like herself.
Was he here? I could see it.
But he's gone now. He was here. He was here before, and I couldn't move, but I felt him.
I have a feeling that maybe this spirit is pursuing you a little more aggressively than I thought. We may have a problem, Vitra, if we don't figure this out soon enough, and I am not the kind of cleric that can help you out anymore. I can do my best to keep them at bay, but for the most part, I sense you may need somebody who's a little stronger than myself.
Who is that?
I need to make a correction. Sorry. Whenever you first detected good and evil, whenever you looked over, at the moment when you saw Vitra and the being, Vitra was not lighting up. It was just a being. Once it disappeared, she lit back up.
I have a feeling
Was it
that
two
something.
then? There was only one.
Yeah, well, that was my mistake. There wasn't two. Sorry, it was only the one that he was detecting.
I saw a revise it to I have a feeling that whoever this is that is possessing you is tempting or playing with your mind, Vitra. I think you yourself have been the embodiment of this very soul that tries to torment you. You may need help from somebody who is far more skilled than myself at this moment, and I don't know exactly who that may be. I'm gonna go Shade. Do I know who can maybe help her at this point? Like, this is kind of getting out of control for myself.
I mean, I don't think you would know a specific person. I mean, if you get into a town, you know who to ask like around for, but you wouldn't. There's not like a famous, cleric. Besides taking her to Jaru. I mean, that's a solution. She's been there. You've been there. But that's a far fucking trek. I mean, that's literally the other side of the world.
Don't know if you've ever been to Jaru before, but we may have to seek those in knowledge there that can help you. Otherwise, you might be tempted for quite some time versus this fiend.
I just don't see a way of us getting there in any timely manner that's so far away.
At this point, I think it's a very long possibility we ever get there at all. How far are we away from where I would guess Athos is at this point?
About 2 weeks. Yeah, we're pretty close.
I honestly don't know what I can do to help you at this point, Vitra.
I mean, it's not your burden to bear, Zenro. You know, I was the stupid person who tried to look at that stone. So
Do not consider yourself stupid for what evil does. Never think of that in that way. Do you understand? I'm gonna go ahead and take my coin that is like my sign of faith. I'm gonna hand it over to Vitra and be like, I don't know if this is going to help you at all, but it has been my cornerstone of my belief for quite some time. Maybe if you can sleep with it until we get to Athos, it might provide some sort of sense of protection for you. I don't know if that's going to work for sure, but I offer it to you if you would take it.
I'm absolutely willing to try. And I'll take the coin from him.
Hey. Zenro hands you over his two-sided coin. One side being that of resembling Luna, the other side being that resembling Soul. And as you look at the coin, it's a bit tarnished. It's definitely gone. It's had long days. This coin doesn't look to be particularly shiny type of metal. It looks like it used to be platinum, but it's been it's kind of a purplish hue now. It's in your hand, and you can feel the weight, not only of its few ounces, but you can feel the weight that it bears for Zenro as he hands it over to you. Okay. Silex, are you doing anything with Morgan?
I'm gonna calm her down. I'm gonna make sure she's okay. Check. I mean, is there any wound left, or is it sealed up, or is it?
Nope. It just looks like that jagged edge.
So there's a scar, or is there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still scarred.
Okay. Get it wrapped up. Get it ointment, whatever medical medicine you need me to roll. I'll do that. Try and calm her down and get her back to sleep.
Yeah.
And then I'll stay awake. and kind of just check on everyone. Not wake them up, but just make sure everyone's good. And
Okay.
Can be, and then I'll probably just spend the day on patrol. I guess I got my
Gotcha.
sleep because I'm just doing patrol. Make sure we're on the right course.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Anyone else want to do anything after this event before we kind of move on? Okay.
I assume most of us slept through that, so
Used to people calling out for Zinra now.
I got a Rathian. Rathian's got my eye. He got his eyes on me, bro.
well, you were looking at my hat. I'm a little
Yeah.
worried.
Because you
I don't
said
want your damn
Zinra.
hat. I don't.
I
want
was
your damn hat.
wondering why you were watching Zinro.
Because Zinro said like likes the
I likes the big hat. Yeah.
likes the big hat, and so I.
Right. Okay. So you guys sail for a couple more weeks after this, relatively without issue. It's becoming more difficult to find really good comfort sleep on the ship. Kind of the sea legs are getting to you. The solitude nature of you've only seen the faces of these, 5 other people for the past months, and it's driving you freaking crazy. But you guys start to pull. Vitra, 2 more. As she's doing that, you guys start to pull in, and you're met with the welcome sound of a cawing seagull. And then there's a few more and more. And as you approach around the bend, as you guys have been following kind of closely to the land of this peninsula, as you kind of make your way around the bend, you see a giant dock where there's hundreds of boats and ships. This is the biggest harbor any of y'all have ever seen. There's, like I said, hundreds of different ships, and you can hear the commotion from where you are. The sand at the beach is this pearly white gold. The water, now that you've gone to the southern part of this ocean, the water goes from kind of that deep dark blue to this Caribbean pale clear, like pastel blue. The waves seem to almost disappear. The choppiness of the water is gone. It's just calm. You can see straight down to the bottom of the ocean. As you guys start to pull into the harbor, into the dock, you see that the town of Athos Beach is booming with tourists right now. There's thousands of people rummaging through the town. You see lots of folks on the beach, relaxing, having family time on vacation. You see that it is paradise, which is a very welcome sight for a lot of you who've been traveling kind of the more rough waters the past few months. So we'll say you guys make it to port, and we'll start off next session with the port master coming up and getting your information to dock the ship. Is there anything else you guys?
You want my 2d20s?
Yeah. I was gonna say if there's anything else you guys want to discuss or do before we end the session, now's the great time. But yeah, I definitely need those 2 rolls.
18 and 3.
All right, roll a d6.
As she's doing that, when we come into port, I want to take a look, and do I see any ships that resemble the one that Bradbury got away with?
It's hard to tell. It's too many ships. I mean, you could roll an investigation check, just a high DC.
Yeah, I'll take it home.
Vitra, yeah, as you guys everyone's kind of excitingly kind of going to the front of the ship, looking and trying to just, like kids at a candy store, seeing all the people and seeing all the ships. You're kind of holding on to like one of the ropes to keep balance, and your hand gets really hot again, and you look down, and the burn mark is like glowing with like an unnatural heat, and you'll lower your maximum hit points down another. Would you roll a 2? 2. So roll it down another 2. As you feel again kind of like a drain in a life force kind of be sucked away from you.
What is happening to you?
I'm possessed.
I will say, luckily, we're no longer traveling long distance where you have to do like those checks so rapidly. It's only every week, so you're not going to have to do it, 5 times in a row like we have been doing. So, luckily, the week will be much longer off.
Hey,
but awesome. So
Out of that many rolls, I mean, I lucked out. Like
Yeah,
I
you only
only
had
had
twice.
2 times.
Yeah. All right, Zinra, what'd you roll for investigation?
It was a 4.
You see a lot of ships. You see a lot of ships. Some of them look like they have black sails, but honestly, it's just a lot of wood. It's a lot of ships. Yeah. Cool. Anyone else got anything for this session before we close it out? Perfect. Well, you guys made it to Athos Beach in mostly one piece. And that's where we'll go ahead and end it.